podcast. Walk with me. Let it ride. That's right. Wanting to be heard in the black man's world, simple, they're complicated, just relax and observe. Breaking down of our families, restructured communities, to wake up and see only your losers are free. Your enemy is your memory. We at your door, black mail delivery. Your enemy is your memory. We at your door, black mail delivery.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. This is the Black Male Podcast. TS is who I am.
Tre-Dot is who I am.
I thought you were going to change with this hat shit, bro. And this is the first part of the year, and we have, as you can see, we have a nice panel of gentlemen, starting with my guy. We have Eric Canada. How are you doing, Eric?
Peace. What's going on, man?
What's going on? We have my brother, another brother of ours. We have Chris White. What's going on? It's been a long time, bro.
Oh, yeah. I said it's the top of the year. I'm pretty sure they running around. Hey, y'all going in, y'all past 100 right now, right?
Oh, yeah. We have
So it's a must. It's a must. Yes,
that's
most
right.
Definitely.
Then we have another brother. We have Jay Cook. What's going on, Jay Cook? How you doing?
Hey, peace, Kings. Thank y'all for having me.
Nah, no doubt,
Most
man.
definitely.
Look, man, we had to start the year off correct. We wanted to make sure that, Trey and I were talking off scenes, and we were already kind of planning this before the year end, but we wanted to make sure we started off with a panel of gentlemen. That's in, multiple different businesses. Everybody is serial entrepreneurs. Everybody has multiple different hands in multiple different pots. So we wanted to make sure that we talk to gentlemen that's just like us, that look like us, that move like we do, and everybody don't think the same. So everybody gonna bring a great, have a great discussion on the different topics, man. But first, mental check. How is everyone doing 2024? Dot, how you feeling? How's everything going?
Oh, this is gonna be a great year for me. I'm feeling wonderful. Phenomenal, my brother.
I ain't about to start with your shit.
Yeah.
Nah, you supposed to jump off like that.
Yeah.
Sensational. When all things come together, it's lovely.
I love how subliminal and non-subliminal my brother is. I like that, man.
Love is love. Love is love. Love is love. Yo,
even have been doing good.
Listen. Even Jay Cook smiling. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
It's a new year. Trey showing all his top row of his damn teeth.
Yeah.
All that damn smiling, man.
Son, hey, they might not last forever. Smile, my nigga.
Right.
I was looking. I thought if he was doing the transition fade, I'd jump on this all silver. I was like, what a transition.
Oh no, he about to. That's. I think that is the transition. Shoot.
I might have to cut it down soon, though.
Oh, that means two things happening.
Yep.
One of two things.
Both.
Both of them.
Yo, E, how's everything, man? How you been feeling? How's your mental health? How's things going, my brother?
Yo, everything good, man. I can't complain. I'm looking forward to 2024. I feel like we about to see some real things come to light. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it started at the end of 2023, but 2024, I feel like a lot of things is about to be brought to light. So I'm excited.
Yo, let me just quick rundown. E gonna get mad at me. E is like, he's my brother, like that's family, but he's also like my mentor. You know what I mean? He just like me. I mentor other people, and I act like I'll be like I'm not a mentor, and I don't want to tell people that. I'll be telling y'all, don't call me your mentor. That's my mentor. That guy has pushed me to do a lot of things that I would not do in business, and we've ran a business together, and he told me, shut this shit down, go do your own thing, because this is bullshit that we doing right now.
That's a blessing, man.
And that's only based on different partners we had, and he was like, yo, enough of this. He was like, yo, TS, you really the face of this. Go do that over there. I'm still gonna be here. You know what I mean? Like, and we've been rocking for years now, bro. It's been.
Well, look, let me throw this in here. What is the problem with being called a mentor? Because I call Dub my mentor all the time.
Yo,
What
it's
is,
just
what is the
it's just
problem with being
because
called a
you know what
mentor?
it is. You know what it is, bro. It's because it's still a little bit of ego and a little bit of we are similar in age, so it's hard to think that way in mentorship. Because when you think of mentor, I think of someone drastically older than me.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
And that's miseducated and misinformed, because we should be all educated and uplifting each other, though.
That's
just
true.
a word.
I know it's just a word, but it's still a
But
it's just
he
still
said
an
that's how
ego.
he feels.
That's how I feel. Like that's
Yeah.
for
I mean,
me.
I get it.
That's how I
think
feel about it.
I mean,
Because
I
I
think it's
mentor
dope.
people. I
I
mentor
think it's
people.
dope. That's
and
dope. It's dope to celebrate each other also.
True.
But
I
I
mentor
also
people
think
and they tell me the same thing. And I be like, I'm here to pass information. I just started embracing the mentor piece. I
Man.
just started embracing.
Go ahead with the humble
I
rumbles,
think of
man.
humbleness too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
That's the
if
humble
you my
rumbles,
brother
man.
and I'm passing off knowledge, I'm passing off knowledge to my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not even a thing of, mentoring. It's just like, yo, I got this jewel. You could use this jewel. Let me pass it off to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's facts. I
Indeed.
run a
Good.
lot of major situations through E. And sometimes he know it or he don't know it. I'll call him and just start talking. And then let me hear his response. And then when his response happened, I'll be like, oh, okay. All right, I'm on the right path. Or he like, that's why I like the dynamic, because we have people around us that'll tell you that's some bullshit. Like, nah, I don't like
It's
that
a
idea. It's
blessing to
not a
have
great
those
idea.
people around you,
Oh my God, it is.
because most people don't. And the
Oh
next
my
thing you know, they're doing some bullshit. And the next thing you know, they're trying to figure out, man, I should have asked you. I should have said something. Yeah, you should have. But
Right.
go and finish your roll call, because you was asking. Go ahead. You was asking everybody
So
out there.
Jay Cook, how about yourself, my brother? How's your mental health? How's everything going for you? How you feeling in 2024?
I'm doing good, man. 2023 was an awesome year, especially the last 6 months, 6 months of the year.
Okay.
So I'm excited about 2024, man. Got a lot of stuff brewing, man. I always have ideas, so Trey will tell you that. I'm always thinking about something.
Well, I'm as we introducing people, I'm just gonna throw this stuff out by him. Like, before I even met him, there was a site, a Carolina Blues site that had all the videos of all the North Carolina artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew who did it. It's just every Carolina video was on one page. Shit was dope. That shit helped like all the artists. It really helped the culture. This nigga did it. You know what I'm saying? And I knew him before I knew he did it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
word
saying?
up.
He didn't want credit for it, nothing. Just did it, and it was powerful for the scene. And that's basically him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talks a lot of shit. He jokes a lot, man, but a very, very kind-hearted brother. Always showed me love. I never really officially met him. We just knew each other when we first saw each other. And it was just cool.
Right.
But I've always had respect for him. It's always a mutual respect, and I always told him I wanted to have him on the show. And it's been like a year since I said it, but we here now. We're gonna keep it moving.
We had to grow. We had to continue growing this before we start really bringing in people, man. And then we have Chris White. How are you doing, brother? How is your 2024? How you feeling? Like, how you doing, my guy?
Hey, man, I'm excited. I'm eager because this is the year of being unapologetically intentional.
Facts.
And let me just throw this out there, because people think when you say self-care, you're being selfish, but self-care ain't selfish. You need so much self-care, especially as a Black man. And these days and times that you need to really find a way to focus on your goals, what you're setting out to do, your personal space, your equilibrium. You need to be intentional about that. So the year's jumping off phenomenally, and it's piggybacking off of what the infrastructure I set up for 2023, and it's just growing, evolving into what it's supposed to be. So I'm excited. I love Mondays, but Mondays are like Black men. Everybody hate Mondays, right?
Nah. I'll be right.
I love Mondays, man.
Me too.
I love Mondays because that's when it's time to get busy.
That's a fact. I mean, yo, we can start off. It's funny that you even said that self-care, so because that's literally no BS. That's the first topic.
Let's get it.
That's the first topic. So the first topic of the show is balance. What does that mean to you all? And do you have a work-life balance? Anybody?
You know what's funny about the work-life balance? You have to balance so many things. It's not just work, and it's not just, when you say life, some people tend to think of your marriage.
Right.
If you're married, or your relationship. You're thinking that balance in that respect, and you're thinking about work. Well, if you're a business owner and you're a mentor, sometimes you're in the mix of maybe 5 to 10 to 20 or 100 other lives.
Yes, you are.
And you're trying to help balance some of those lives out. While at the same time, I'm the type of person, if I teach you, it's reinforcing what I know.
Right.
So when I have kids that come through my mentoring program, so if you didn't know, I have a mentoring program called Made for Success. And it's an acronym for Make a Difference Every Day for Success. So we have kids from 12 to 22. And we have mental health advocates that I coach and train to become those peer support specialists for those kids in that age group. Because kids listen to their peers.
Yep.
They'll hear me as an adult, but unless I got something that's really, really engaging and locking them in, they're gonna get bored. And you know, attention spans are like nanoseconds. So you have to have things in place to keep that attention, because that's the most expensive commodity on the planet, which is attention.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but trying to find that balance really is a huge juggling act, because your wife is gonna, my wife, I've been married 21 years. My wife is gonna want a certain amount of time. My kids, 18 and 19, want a certain amount of time. And it's time, like even now, this is a Polaroid snapshot. We can't get this time back.
Nope.
So the time that we spend on this podcast, we can't get that back. So we have to be present and really focus on the fact that we're being present in what we're doing at all times. So that balance, it can be shaky at times.
Right. No, I definitely
So
agree.
for me, and I'm speaking for me.
I definitely agree. I've been having a hard time, even as the year progressed, as the year start, on figuring out a balance for myself, just so I can have some me time. You know what I'm saying? Just a moment, just a nanosecond of personal time, because I'm in the same boat, multiple businesses, and we're, the wife and I, moving into some other things, and then, like you said, I have to have a little bit of time for the wife. Had the time for the wife, my boys. I have 2 young boys, 8 and 13. So gotta have time for them.
Yeah.
They don't believe in nothing about personal space. And then I have a
No
23-year-old
boundaries.
daughter who, shockingly, she wants daddy time. Like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to hang out with her. So it's like, yo, you got, it's a juggling act. But I think my goal this year is to find just more time for myself, to just do myself. I mean, I don't know how you guys look at it as well. Jump in
Well,
there, man.
can I ask Jay? Let me ask Jay a question.
Mhm.
When was the
Yo,
last
what's up?
time you did something specifically for you? Not the fam, not anybody else. I don't care if it was minute or something great. When was the last time you treated yourself?
Man, it's been a while. I'm be honest with you. Most of my spare time is spent in the gym. That's where I decompress. That's something me and Trey have in common. That's my favorite thing to do when I need my me time. And of course, I sneaker shop just like most men. So I do that a lot by myself. But other than that, man, I'm running a business. I'm working in corporate America. I'm raising 2 kids. I have a wife. So it's hard to find that balance. I'm not even going to lie to you. I work from home 3 days a week. So you find yourself working when you're not supposed to be working, or
Right.
you're working on your side venture. So it's definitely a difficult situation to navigate. I'm not going to lie to you.
Real talk.
How about you, E? What you thinking?
I mean, I definitely agree with Chris in terms of life and balance. I feel like life is balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have too much of one or too much of another. You know what I'm saying? Rain, sun, whatever. Everything in life is balance.
That's a fact.
And I know for me, sometimes, having a lot going on, I'll feel a little shift to the left or shift to the right, and I just automatically just stop and take that me time. You know what I'm saying? And it could be simple. It could be, I'm about to walk up in this movie theater. I don't even know what's playing. But you know what I'm saying? I'm going to sneak me in some candy from the dollar store and just sit there for 2 hours and decompress. You know what I'm saying? So, we definitely got to take that me time as serious.
That's true. I've witnessed that. I've called you and you're like, yo, I was at the theater. I'm like, this, I want to go to the movie.
What's funny about him saying that? Yeah, I told my wife 2 weeks ago, right? I said, when American Fiction comes out, I want to go check it out with Jeffrey Wright. I just want to see, because that's the day and age we living in right now, where people want the buffoonery. They don't want the real. We live in y'all, we probably all old enough to remember Superman growing up, right?
Yeah.
Totally different than
Right.
Superman now. But that was an episode where they had the backwards Superman. It was called Bizarro Land. And Bizarro Land, everything was backwards. Instead of flying forward, he flew backwards. Instead of doing things the right way, he did things the wrong way. But that's the world we live in right now.
This place
We live in Bizarro Land.
This place is fully shenanigans right now.
Right? So when he was saying that he just dips off to the movies, I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the movies by myself in a heartbeat. I know it's playing. Let's go.
Yeah,
Go to the Dollar Tree, get some Twizzlers, and boom.
No doubt.
I do the same thing too, but I haven't done it in a while. I used to definitely go to the movies. I know Trey does that a lot too. I'll talk to him and he'll be like, "Yo, I just left the film." I'm like, "Bro, I don't care because I want to do the same thing."
Well, for me, it's different because you fellas that are married, you have your lady with you. I'm transitioning into a situation, so I try to do things to keep my mind entertained and keep my mind engaged. That's what kind of got me back into doing music, man. It keeps me engaged. I get to put my thoughts down. But even with self-care, man, I could do a better job communicating with my support system that's around me because I still fall off a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in my isolation things. And, that's something I'm gonna work on this year. I mean, even though I don't think I'm bad at it, I'm not good at it either. You know what I'm saying? So that's the weakness. It's almost like going to the gym. You got a certain body part you want to work on a little bit more. Mentally, that's something I got to work on a little bit more. I mean, me and K-Dub spoke on a couple situations that put me through a couple things, man. But it's still an overthinking thing, and I got to listen to myself more.
Yeah,
So
you got to trust yourself more.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Because what typically happens is that self-doubt creeps in, and you start questioning all of your judgment calls, and then you go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah,
and that rabbit hole would take you to a place where you say, I'll worry about it later.
And then it creates procrastination.
Yeah.
And
when you
all day. That's the problem.
I fall into that from time to time where I overthink things, and then next I procrastinate on it. I'm not completing it because I'm already overthinking it, or I'll move on to something else and never fully completed that one task. You know what I mean? And I think I know that happens. That happened last night. Then I end up being up to almost 3 a.m. finishing up something that I could have finished a long time ago, but because I was overthinking and procrastinating, now I'm up.
Think about what you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
But think about what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, you get to a certain place that you want to be at because you chose to be uncomfortable.
Right.
You have to be in uncomfortable situations to get to places that you really desire to go. So when you don't want to do that, like I go in, I don't like doing leg day. I hate leg day. I'm thinking like, man, I know I ain't gonna be able to walk for a while. I'll be with the shakes, shaking over here like booty meat because I'm getting tremors and stuff. Like, man, but I need to do it. I need to force myself to do it because it's gonna help me later on.
Right.
So when we even force our kids or even our close friends, the people that we're close to, force them to do those things that are uncomfortable because it's going to put you in the place that you really want to be. When you're uncomfortable, you're going to do things to change that situation. The AC went out in the house. Did not want to spend $7,500 to put a new unit in the house, but 106 degrees will make you change that perspective pretty quickly. Yeah. So you're going to spend the 70 whatever because it's cheaper than the 13,000. Yeah. So whenever you don't feel like doing something, that's when you need to do it.
Hey, it's good to know I ain't the only one with this homeowner BS. Went through that same mess a couple
that's crazy. I had to do it a few years ago when I had nobody to talk to about it. Like nobody knew what I was saying. Now years later, everybody went through it.
Yeah, I called him when mine went out. I called him. I said, "Bro, my darn heat went out. It's cold in the house." I'm looking at the wife. She looking at me like, "What were you doing?" I'm like,
"How cold was it when yours went out?"
Yo, it was me. It was again the house. It got about 50 something, like 50, like low 50.
Oh, even when it's 60 is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Nah, when mine went out, it was like 20 degrees outside.
Nah.
Wow.
So that means about 40 degrees in the crib.
No, it takes time.
Yeah.
And you get a little cocky. You be like, I could wait a couple days. You get cocky. Then you go to sleep and wake up, you in an icebox. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes time to get cold because
Let me
you're
tell you
still
something.
insulated.
My family
Yeah.
would not let that happen. You got my youngest son walking around. It's cold, Daddy. My oldest son, Dad, what we doing? It's cold. Here go my wife. We gonna use an extra blanket, trying to be like in the middle. I'm like, yo, fam, let's call the people,
But
man.
you see what y'all saying though? But think about it. Everything that y'all are saying, it comes back to it falls on you regardless.
Oh yeah.
As the
Right.
man, all the pressure.
Oh yeah.
If you have the money or you don't, what needs to be fixed, if you know how to fix it or you don't, it still falls on you, daddy, baby,
Oh,
what we doing?
Yo.
And that's when, it's a cat out there. His name is Dax, and I came across him by accident. He's an artist. He's a rap artist, and he has this song called "What It's Like to Be a Man." I thought it was a country song.
Mhm.
But when you listen, he has an entire album that's dedicated to the different areas of mental health, addiction, alcoholism, mental health, depression. God, he has an album, and that's how I found him by accident. I heard this song, and he was talking some real stuff about what it's like to go through all the pressures of just being a man. Now, you talk about being a black man and having all these responsibilities, and nobody even cares if you're okay. They just know something. I need a result needs to happen. They need a solution.
Right.
Whatever you got to do, they need that solution,
Right.
and it falls on you. And I'm telling my son, he's 19, that your sister's 18, you're 19. As a young man, you're great looking. You have a great head on your shoulders. There's a lot of things that are going to be thrust on those big shoulders of yours and going to be expected of you that's not going to be expected of your sister. Your sister is beautiful. Some guy is going to want to take care of your sister.
Yeah.
You're going to be expected to take care of someone's lady or
Yep.
someone's daughter. I said, so I'm not raising you to be my son. You're my son, raising you to be somebody's father, somebody's husband. You're going to be in a position where you're probably going to go into business or you're going to follow this entertainment thing as far as you want to take it.
Right.
And those responsibilities are going to fall on you. So I'm just segueing into that because with those things that need to be done, those pressures fall on you as the man. And most people bottle that up and they keep it to themselves and they either self-medicate or they find some other non-positive outlet to let those frustrations manifest themselves.
Right.
Well,
And as a therapist, it's like, man.
But yeah, what
Go
I want
ahead,
to say,
Trey.
it's a topic me and CS kind of talked about, but it's nothing that we discussed officially. Since you're saying about things being dependent on the man and the man having to hold things down, but there's a current climate to where the conversation is of how useless we are so many times with women that goes viral. And I wanted to ask, especially married men, how do you feel about women trying to downplay marriage, trying to downplay relationships, and trying to downplay our value? And Jay, I brought your name up because I told my man, I said, I'm gonna ask Jay this shit because Jay got a family, newly married, and he made transformation in his life I'm proud of. I want to see what he kind of feels about that topic. Everybody actually.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
really.
it's
Not really new, but he's new to where he wants to take a picture of his wife every 2 days and shit.
New.
That's my wife. No. Stop it, man. I'm 10 years in, man. I'm 10 years in, and in the good times, and in the good times, your partner is your best friend. So we actually have these conversations about how the world depicts us as Black men and how most of us are low lives in their in their opinion. And I know it's not that. It's a lot of Black men that I'm connected with who do great things in the communities, take care of their families, and no one ever talks about it. So it's hard for me to see that depicted in the media. I know that most of the dads are coaches. Some of them are teachers. Some of them are philanthropists. Some of them are mentors. We do a lot in the community that is not spoken of, and it hurts my heart when I see mainstream media actually depict us as being nobodies. You get what I'm saying?
It's podcasting, man. That's the sad part about it. It's podcasting. I've been doing podcasting for a long time. Chris, you have as well. The problem is this: you have a bunch of new podcasts with a bunch of panderers. We call it pander bearism.
Yeah.
So it's easy to obtain a followership by shitting on men, just like it's easy to obtain a followership by shitting on women.
Indeed.
All I know is brothers that's married or not married, taking care of their kids or other kids or nieces and nephews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone on this has mentored a niece, a nephew who helped them or been a part of their lives, who or have kids that handle. All I know is good dudes. When I hear this black, now do we know some shitty black men? Yes.
Of course.
But the
of
sad
course.
part is, man, it's also what people attract. Sometimes we attract shitty women. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I went through my shitty woman phase. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Shit. I went through. I married one that I knew her and I knew we shouldn't have got married. My first marriage. We both knew that shit. We got married for all the wrong reasons. Now my current wife, we're 11 years in. We did.
Yeah.
It was a way. It's different. The you know what I mean? Like that's the issue. What you gonna say, Chris?
You know, it's funny we talking about this because I had this conversation yesterday. The wrong woman can destroy a king.
Hell yeah.
Most definitely.
The wrong woman can destroy a king. You bring the wrong woman into the right situation and she's broken. One thing about being broken, you can't fix what's broken. It's not your job to fix what's broken. It's her job to work on, or his job to work on what's broken. A lot of childhood trauma in black and men of color that I deal with, and I say men of color because a lot of my clients are not just black men. They're now Hispanic, they're Asian, they're Sikh, they're Punjab, and I'm blessed that I have such a diverse makeup of clients now. But we all have the same thing in common. If you marry or you in an arranged situation and you're with the wrong person who's not supportive, who's not into that growth mentality, you're dead in the water. You just don't know it yet.
But are we
It's
are
like
we
playing
talking to our
chess.
children about this? Me and Chess have talked about it several times, but I always ask. I want men to kind of speak
They
on
have
that.
to be at a certain age. I think they have to be at
Yes.
a certain age of clarity because as a child, you're going to see things from a child's point of view. As a young adult, you're going to have a perspective that's different than that child. So my son is 19 and I take him around and I introduce him to different people. And I say, you know what I do? You know that I get paid to critically listen to people for a living, right? So I have to be cognizant of what I say in response to what they're telling me. I said, but I also come across those who are very intelligent. I come across those who are faking the intelligence, thinking that they know something and they don't. And I like to be entertained sometimes. I just sit back and I listen and I let them go.
Right.
I'm like, you don't really know what the fuck you talking about. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give you some gas and let you go. And then I'm gonna find a creative way of educating you on how to properly do something. So what I'm trying to expose him to is different people, different women, different types of women. I said, everybody's not going to have your best interests at heart. You're probably not going to meet someone like your mother, but I hope you do. She's different. I think that generation, what is it? Generation, not Alpha, that's the 7-year-olds, but what is it? Generation Z that we're in now
like
with
that.
these
Yeah.
kids that are 15 to 20 right now.
Right.
I kind of feel sorry for these kids because they're going to run into these toxic kids of these toxic parents that don't know anything but a broke mentality.
Right.
And they're going to see you as a come up.
Right.
Because I would look at you. I grew up in Fifth Ward. You have to be so hyper aware of your surroundings. You become ingrained into what's happening. You can feel the vibe, and if you need to dip, you dip. But my kids didn't grow up in that situation.
Nope.
They're comfortable. They think they're rich.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no, me and your mom good. Y'all ain't rich.
Y'all ain't
But
good.
me and your mom.
Oh my
But
God.
so without having to grow up and having to acquire that type of awareness, it's like trying to get them up to speed on how quickly people can size you up, assess your situation, and then try to move to take advantage of you.
Yo,
So if you got a
13-year-old.
girl who's sharp,
Mm-hmm.
I got a little girl in my program, she's 13,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, she might as well be 28. She moves that fast. And I'm like, whoa, I need to start a whole girls group just for you.
Right.
Because you need a lot of work. I met her mother and I'm saying to myself, you got broken people having kids who are in broken relationships, and these kids are growing up thinking that's normal. What I know, that's abnormal.
Right.
What I'm trying to provide for my kids is a totally different platform. And thankfully, we've been blessed enough to be able to do that. But you're going to encounter these people in everyday life. And when you talk about, you said you had a panel of black men. I had this conversation before, and I say it's a difference between black people and niggas.
Oh yeah.
And people said, "What the hell?" And this was in front of a principal, and she said, "Oh, she got nervous." I say, "What you don't understand? You think I'm talking about black people still, don't you?"
Mm-hmm.
It's some white niggas, it's Asian niggas, it's Mexican niggas, it's Punjab, it's everything. Listen, you got that messed up mentality. Guess what? It's there, and they have to fix that. So when you start going through your progressions and you elevate yourself and you want to grow, like you said, Sean, you've been married 11.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, you've been married 10. Are you married?
Nah.
Nah, my dog.
So
chill.
Trey, are you engaged or anything?
You mean me or Trey?
No, you. I'm sorry.
No. I'm still on the hunt.
Okay. So Trey, so right now it's you, and then Trey is found. Jay is 10, Sean is 11. Dog, I'm 21 years deep in this.
Yep.
I never would have imagined that. Dog, I come from a college where you being the man, you got your pick of whatever. So it's like you. Hey, 311. That's what we headed. You. Let's go.
Yeah.
So as you grow through that immature phase and you start looking for that one, and you finally found that one, you praying that it worked out the way you want it to and hope it should. But like Sean said, you have one that you married and you like, oh man, how long were you married in that situation?
Oh, just
Sean?
a year. Just a year.
A year. It took you how long were y'all together though?
We was together like 5.
5 years, and it took 1 year of marriage and being totally engaged with one another to realize this is a bad decision.
Yeah. You know, it was funny, and I don't mind. I'm very transparent. We were driving to North Carolina to look at our apartment because we were moving from Florida to North Carolina. And on the way back to Florida, she looked at me, Sean, I wasn't ready. We shouldn't have got married. I said,
Wait a minute, after y'all got married?
Yeah, that was after we got married. We was literally we was probably married 2 months, and we was doing we were moving, and she said, she's like, Sean, she looked at me, Sean, I don't think I wasn't ready. We shouldn't have got married. I said, I wasn't ready neither. like I
What
looked
do you
at her.
think pushed
I
you to
thought
do
we
that
did it.
then?
We did it we both felt like we did it out of obligation. The only thing was good was sex. That was it. Nothing else was good. I was out here making my money. She was overly jealous. But I've always, like I do I do what I do with my current wife now. I include her. I didn't include my ex-wife in nothing. So it was always in the dark. Yo, I got chicken. Just deal with that. You know, you don't have to worry for nothing. Don't worry about what my business is, what I'm doing over here. You know what I'm saying? Now I flipped it. I include my wife on what we do. She's co-owner on 2 businesses with me. When I go to business meetings, she's included. She knows what goes on. This podcast network, she co-owns with me. She's working on different sponsorship opportunities. It's like, yo, I changed the whole, and I didn't base everything on just physical interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Sure.
it has to be more than just a physical interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It has
saying?
to be
And
deeper
then
than
we
that.
was young. Me and my ex-wife, we were young at the time, volatile, you know, not physical, but just mental. We were mentally volatile to one another. Wasn't good. That was a stupid decision. But you young, you in your 20s, you thinking out of obligation, you got to do some things. And it wasn't 5 years, it was 4 years. So 3 years together, 1 year married. You know
I had
what
a
I'm
Hey,
saying?
friend.
Sean, I got a
Go ahead.
question for you,
Okay.
man.
Uh-huh.
How does that pain of that previous relationship affect the marriage that you're in right now?
It did at first. It did at first during the dating phase. During the dating
Right.
phase, because my ex-wife just wasn't good with paying bills. She wasn't good with doing stuff like, or she would take money and just go do some other shit with it. And I'm trusting you to handle this stuff. Like, yo, I'm bringing in the chicken. Go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go make sure this, that, and the third. So if my current wife, when we were dating, when we moved in one another, if she dropped the ball on something, the first thing I went to was that previous situation. That was the first thing. It took us to literally separate. We separated. I helped her move into her own apartment, everything. I paid for it, set her up, and I was in my own place. And it took me that situation to realize, oh shit, this is different. This woman, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at it in a different frame, a different phase. And once I figured that out, because I'm very self-aware, I check myself before I you know what I mean, before I just totally self-destruct. And I just checked myself about that, and her and I sat down, we had a conversation, and we really talked. And then I realized what I was doing wrong, and she forgave me. The great thing is she forgave me because she could have just kept it moving. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
so
Like,
you acknowledge what you were doing wrong.
yes, I acknowledged exactly what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, that's
And she
real.
could have left me. She could have
Very
literally
real.
left me. At that time, my wife would tell you, she was like, yo, she fucking couldn't stand me, but she loved me. She couldn't stand my attitude, but she loved me. And she understood. And yo, bro, I was broke as shit by that time. We done had a divorce. I done lost mad money. I've been audited by the government. It was no reason for her
Yeah.
to stick around, dog. And she did. You know what I mean?
That's a different level of commitment and being disciplined to the fact that this is for better or for worse.
Right.
That's
and
real. That was a
we
good
wasn't
question,
married though.
Pete.
We wasn't even married yet. No kids, no nothing.
Right.
We were just dating. And
Yeah, but
she-
it's easy to self-sabotage a blessing. You
Yes,
know,
it
and
is.
I've done it a lot in my life. Hell, I've done it recently. You know what I'm saying? And then you wake up one day, you be like, yo, I can't lose this, man. And you just do what you got to do to maintain what makes sense. Just that overthinking, man. Huh? Go ahead.
Why do you think you were in a self-sabotaging stage, bro?
Come on, man. You know the answer to this stuff, man. Come on, man.
Hey, because there's some people out there that don't realize they may
Yeah,
be
somebody need to hear
self-sabotaging.
this, man.
Yeah.
Nah. I'll just try to make y'all laugh, man. I'm talking shit. It's just fear of failure, fear of falling. You know what I'm saying? Fear of having everything you wanted and fucking it up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And fear of being that person you're telling other people not to be. You know what I'm saying? And one day you wake up and it's like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this just makes sense. This woman thinks I'm the greatest man alive, and I'm sitting there worried about failing. And while you're doing that, a whole week can go by. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all not in the same city.
Nah, man, we're on different coasts. So,
but that's even. But what I wanted to acknowledge was that makes it even worse.
Not really,
that compounds it.
Now let's throw the silliness out the window. We're on different coasts, so it's to a point of where I was overthinking so many things. Things got drawn out. Then I got to a point of where, you know what? I'm gonna make this part official. I'm gonna get this ring. I'm gonna fix everything else after that. And that's how it came about. And I just felt like a big weight was just taken off of my back. And then there's still work to do, but you know, I just felt like a weight was taken off my back because I know there was a certain level of tension within that. Because you know, she's big on commitment. You know, I'm not anti-commitment. I want to be able to say, you're saying 21, he's saying 11, he's saying 10 years. Like, my man's still on the hunt. I ain't on the hunt, but I can't give y'all no years. Right. I want to say that.
Yo, the great thing is,
You know what I'm
though, Trey, even about your situation, I don't know how much you talked to Jay Cook, but I know how much you talked to myself and Chris. That's the great thing about it. You got people in your circle that you can go to and indirectly or directly have a conversation about things because we both see it from different ways. And then sit down and be like, you know what? I was tripping. Because I know Chris is like me, we not gonna sugarcoat it for you. We're gonna keep it a buck for you.
No, I was quite a bit.
We're gonna be on your side and we're gonna tell you on some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is real. To back well, I ain't gonna say it. To piggyback off Sean is listen.
Hit the pause
button.
The
people
you already messed up earlier with that booty shit.
So Jay, the best situation to be in, honestly, is for your lady to have access to your support system. Because when y'all get into that stage of where things are looking funny or feeling funny, she already knows who you're going to go to. If she has access to them, then guess what? Not saying that she needs to be calling and doing things like that, but it's going to get to a point where she's going to have her group of friends or her support system. They need to be on your team because she's going to tell them, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. Girl, we need a reality check because he's doing the best that he can be doing right now. And the same thing with her. And what I found out over these last 20-something years, my wife is she's a forced extrovert, meaning that she's really an introverted person. And she's a former D1 athlete, Olympics, all that stuff. But she's really, I'd rather be in the house chilling to myself with my family but I force her, and she works for the government, which forces her to be in charge of other people and in charge of men, especially. It takes a different mindset to be in charge of 200 men than to come back and you're not in charge in your household because your husband is
Yeah, I
in
get it. I
charge.
get it.
And
I get
so
Indeed.
it's the dynamics of a marriage. Jay's is different. Sean's is different. He's been
course, of
somewhere
course,
I
of
haven't
course.
been because he's in his second. So I'm sitting here looking at this 21, and I'm like, man, I never would have thought I'd be married a year. Here I am going
Well, I
on
mean,
21.
I never thought I would consider doing it again. And my dynamic, I don't know anyone that has a situation, the long distance and economic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's other elements I can get from other people that, you know, I need to hear. Even if it's something I already got up here, sometimes you just need to activate your hard drive again. And Jay, you was getting ready to say something a minute ago. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I think that, like, even with you, man, you say I post my wife.
No, I was
I
just joking
post
with
my
you, bro.
no.
I be hating. No, I be hating because I don't do it. I be
No.
hating.
This is the
I need
thing.
one.
You don't realize the messages that you send me and said, this is what I love. Bro, keep doing what you're doing. I enjoy seeing the growth.
Oh, I
That
do. I
goes a
do.
long way. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
Because,
do.
like,
I do.
I might not necessarily hear it from my partners. You know what I mean? But
That's
to hear it
yeah,
from
yeah.
somebody I respect, it's big to me. Like, literally, you've been a lifeline. So whenever it gets to that point to where you're serious but you're having problems, we're all here, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel it. I
And,
feel
and,
Yo,
it.
and
so
even not just for the problems,
That's
because
tough.
there's
That's
Yeah.
gonna be a
tough.
lot of good times that you like,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
Like
sir.
Sean was cracking on. Man, he take pictures of his wife every, every 2 days. But hey, listen, I'm in a
I said
photography
it.
studio,
I
and
said it
I
to
shoot
everybody
my
that
wife
does it.
all the time.
me
Yeah.
too.
And so it's like, man, if you can find that, that's, what it says in the Bible. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's. I never really took that serious, but it's a real thing,
Yeah,
especially
none of us did.
now
None of us did.
that I counsel men who are going through really bad relationships or divorce or have been divorced, and they don't know how to cope with that situation of losing that person that they believed in and invested in. Because relationships, period, is a huge investment.
Hell yeah.
It's an investment of emotional content. It's an investment of the physical, not to mention the financial, but it's spiritual. It's all encompassing. So when you lose that, or that's cut out and it's intentional, and 9 times out of 10 is bitter, it can be draining,
Yeah.
and it can really mess with your psyche.
I agree.
So that's all I'm saying. So whenever y'all get to that position where you start questioning certain things, man, drop a line, holler at somebody. Even cats, I have mentors that have been married 40 plus. And I'm like, man, I can't even imagine. You've been married longer than I've been alive. This is crazy. So
Mhm.
to see that lets you know that you've gone through every stage. Because right now, Jay is at 10 and Sean is at 11 with his second wife. I've learned that there's different phases that you go through in marriage.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
get to the one phase where it almost feels like you're roommates.
Yeah.
And
Man, I had this conversation last night. So my daughter just turned 19. She just started college. And it's like now you have to learn to date each other again. The normal responsibilities that you had before are no longer there. So now you got to figure out how to fill that gap, that space, that
that
time.
empty nester.
Yeah. So what you saying, it just hit home. And like, thank you for the invite. We had this conversation last night. You hear me? So yeah,
Real.
that's definitely real, man.
Yo, E, let
And
me ask you a question. You said you in the game.
Yeah.
What do you finding different out here dating? Because you dating in a pool of shenanigans. So what, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you finding out within this in this world right now?
hey, E, before you answer that, what state you in?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Please inform us on that. Ooh.
I feel like social media's hurting. Like, honestly, I say the Black family structure, period. When I look at social media and the influence that it has on a lot of men and women and the list, you know what I'm saying? You could take it here, but you can't take it here. And you gotta make this and that, and I feel like nowadays it's different, and it's hard for men and women to live up to these standards that we're placing on each other.
Mm.
You know, men are looking for, Instagram models, and the women are looking for the, 6-figure, just I forgot what my man called them, the
High valued
High
men.
value man. There you go. There you go. Hard. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but yo, you move around. I know how you move around. I know how you do. I know you're being coy. Like, how do you, like, personally, like, how are you maneuvering dealing with dating, or figuring out what you want to do? Because I know, with yourself.
Honestly, me personally, I'm
Mhm.
kind of on hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Just to work on things that I need to work on, to be that better person for whoever I end up with in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of my situation right now.
And it's got to
Yo,
be
that's
expensive.
What's
that's
up?
that's dope though. That's dope though. What you said. The reason why I say that is because when I took the time to better myself, not just in the gym or whatever, but just try to better myself as a person. That's when my situation kind of fell in my lap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because a lot of times we
So you
attract the
weren't
person we
looking.
kind of are. Nah, I didn't ever think I would be in. I used to talk shit about marriage and all of that, man. Like TS know that shit. I ain't never take that shit seriously, man. Like, and then when it happens, it just feels everything just feels right. You know what I'm saying? Everything just feels right. And a certain energy a woman can give you is something that you don't understand until you get it. And then you start to wonder, like, wow. You know what I mean? Like I say to Jay Cook, every once in a while I'll shoot him a message. I didn't, realize it even mattered that much to him. But in my spirit, if I see something, I feel like I should, congratulate a brother or appreciate a brother. And I seen him grow as a man. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's so dope. And I love seeing him with his wife and they in the gym and all that. I mean, that's like this is the old guy. I mean, I actually like seeing that kind of shit. And with him, I clown him about taking pictures of his wife, but I actually like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Nah,
it's
that's
dope.
real.
Because every picture, like me and him talk all the time, we'll hang out and don't take one picture. And that is so fucking crazy to me. And now it's like you look at every picture has a story.
Yeah.
Every video, every reel, every status has a story. Fuck all the likes and the shares and the follows and all of that. I'm just saying the story that internally can strengthen you and others as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can uplift communities from one picture. Because
Nah,
they
you're
love
right.
to say we don't have black families. They love to say
Oh
that
man.
you don't see black families out as a family. Yo, we do that.
A lot.
But most of us that do that, we humble. We don't talk about it.
Nah.
Yeah, because and we live in a day and age where everybody wants to promote something that looks so over the top
Yep.
about themselves. And I'm like, man, I had just not a segue, but had a couple come over to my studio here in Houston, and they had just recently got married, but they were trying to convince me that they had power. And when I say power, they were trying to convince me they had all this shit popping because social media this, social media that, and we have 2 million followers and blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, this is power perceived. And then they were like, what do you mean? I said, you don't have power, but it's perceived power to those that don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, you sitting in my building and in my studio, and this ain't no cap. This is power.
The
In your
sad part is,
face.
man, people look at influence, social media influence, as a form of a
Currency.
gratification of power and currency, right? And you're not making a dime from it, man. It's ridiculous to me. Like I look at my wife and I, we do a podcast called Life and Love. You know what I'm saying? And because we feel like people make this thing called Life and Love way too hard. We did an interview with a woman named Ivanka. This woman looked at us. She's a counselor and all this other stuff. And a marriage counselor and all this other stuff. She looked at us and was like, "Can I bring y'all to where I'm at? Can I pay for y'all to come down here and talk to people?" I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Because just the energy and things that you feel. Why y'all don't put this on social media more? Because it's not for that. Yes, we have a podcast. We put out podcast information, but what we have and the energy we have, it ain't for everybody. It's not for exploitation. You know what I'm saying?
Because some people gonna look at that though, Sean, and say, y'all capping. Y'all doing that for the
Oh,
gram. Y'all doing
we've had
for
that. We've had that
This is
already.
what?
We've had people say that we capping, and we laugh at that shit. Because if they, one thing about us is this: what we show online, we don't show everything. Like our real life and what we do is what we do. We have a old structure within our home that my wife would tell you I created. What goes on in this home stays in this home unless it's abuse. If it's abuse, you go seek help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, we keep everything within our home. So we don't talk about finances outside of here. We don't bring people within our home that don't see the best in us. You know what I'm saying? Who can't objectively look at, if my wife has friends, I have friends. But at the same, and we know each other's friends. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you said earlier. If my wife wanted to, she could call Eric.
Yeah.
And have a talk with him if I'm tripping. She could call Trey. And both of them done said, if you fuck up with her, bro, you stupid. And we may not talk to you for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Both of them have. You know what I mean? So
But that's being real. That's being a real friend. And then at the same time, not exposing every
that's not
aspect
for
of your life
exploitation.
to the public. It's not.
No.
Some of this stuff ain't made for TV.
No.
Well, my problem with that is within our communities is for every relationship that shows positivity, that shows growth, shows elevation, there's an entire community that wants to see you fail. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me. Just like, I seen Jay transform himself in the gym. As soon as you get in shape, everybody waits for you to get fat again.
Oh, it ain't gonna last.
You know what I mean? Soon as you start getting bread, they waiting for you to fall off again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're doing music, you got a couple records that's popping, they're gonna wait for you to do one that's trash.
Yeah.
I told you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to the point of where when you do have that power structure, and I call it a power structure because you're powerful when you're an intelligent, uplifting individual. There's power within that. So there's power within the five of us together. When you have that power structure, that's all the foundation you really need to build from. And you expand from there. Because nobody wants to see you succeed.
No.
That's the saddest thing in the world.
And
that's sad, man.
TS and I have been talking about that for years and just hoping we don't have to talk about it again.
Yeah. Yo, Trey,
but unfortunately, that's not it.
It's funny you said that because I'm in the gym heavy as well. Someone asked me the other day, "Oh, you still in the gym?" I'm like, "Yeah." You don't post any pictures, so I don't know. I was like, "No, I just don't post, bro." When I go in there, I work, bust my ass, because I was tired of being fat. I ain't fat no more, so I'm in here busting my ass. I'm not here to take no pictures for you.
But you do post pictures. My question is, how many do I have to post, my nigga?
Right.
How many times do you have to see me
I go to the gym 4 times a week. I'll post a quick photo that one time. You know, that's not enough. That's enough. I like you, and it's a close-up shot because I'm like, I'm still like I'm working. Like once I get to my goal, maybe one day I'll take the shirt off for them hoes.
On another level. Oh my God. The whole
Trey walk around with no shirt on
all the time. Y'all telling he be naked up top, and I'm tired of seeing that on social media, bro. Every time he do it, I hit him. I said, bro, why you naked up top, bro? Stop doing that shit, bro. I don't want to see that.
Listen.
Yo, he a IG model. He's just not want to expose it, son.
Yeah, he an IG model for sure.
Yo, when he get down and do his little rollouts, and then he roll back up. I'm like, yo, fam, I don't want to see that no more. Yo, why you?
Hey, look. I tell my kids, I say, hey, you ever seen a gorilla mix with a peacock? That's me. But then when I met Trey, I was like, nah, let me show you what a gorilla mix with a peacock. Look, this dude over there with the fade, the transition. I'm like, man, Dad, how big is he? I say, man, he about 3. He about 6'4" or something.
Yo,
he look like a Black Incredible Hulk. I'm like, yeah, it's enough looking at Trey.
I just lost my thought, man. Y'all niggas
took an IG model, son.
Nah, but the whole idea of health and wellness, man, men need to talk about, because all of us have been in positions where our health wasn't where it needed to be. And my heaviest I was 360. You know what I mean? When I met Jay,
340.
when I met Jay's a little bit taller than me. You know what I'm saying? He was a big dude, and then we fool ourselves when we big, like, I look idle. Nah, nigga, you fat. Your organs are struggling. Your heart got to beat so much harder just for it to work. Everything ain't working right. Because I had extreme sleep apnea, man, and the doctor told me I had to lose 80 pounds. And I laughed at it at first, but that's when I first started getting rid of the alcohol and the beer. I took stages. You know, and I lost 100 pounds over a period of a year and a half. Then I put more weight on, just lifting the weights and shit like that.
Right.
But even with TS, man, I used to always tell him, bro, even if you ain't in the gym going hard, just do something.
Right.
Your body is going to be so shocked, it's going to make a difference. It's no difference as if you're a person that never reads. Just change the whole system. Do a couple audiobooks a week. Your brain is going to be so powerful, you'll be amazed at what your brain can do. Or even what we're talking about, support systems. Yo, holler at your support system once a week. I ain't done it myself, but I might do myself.
Yeah.
No, holler at your support system once a week and watch how you're going to change.
Real talk.
Even when I shoot a compliment to a brother like Jay, yo, I feel good after I shoot that compliment out, regardless of how we take it. I'm seeing something that looks good to me, that brings me joy to see a black man with his wife and kids and first day of schools kind of shit. I love that kind of shit now.
Man,
You know what I mean? I can go to the mall and walk and just see black families walk past and I'll just be smiling. They be like, fuck wrong with that big ass nigga. That shit, I love it though, because you don't see it all the time. When I see TS with his kids, I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
If I go over there and his kids don't talk to me before I leave, I'm like, fuck wrong with these little niggas. You know what I'm saying?
And for some reason, my youngest, I don't know why, bro. He loves some Tre-Dot, bro. He got the hat. He rocked the hat. He heard me playing a song, right? One of Trey songs. He come down. He said, "Ain't that Trey song?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "It's on YouTube." I said, "Yeah, it's on YouTube."
Yeah, he finna download
He
it.
pulled his tablet up and said Tre-Dot, and his tablet pulled his song up. And he was like, "All right, I'm going in the room." And he went in the room and played the record. I told him, I said, "Bro, I don't want to hear his voice no more. Cut it off." Put it on repeat. And he keep playing. He's like, "The song good, Daddy." I said, "I know it's good. I'm just messing with you." You know what I'm saying?
I mean, my son is 29, but if he was younger, I would make it my business to have him around brothers like TS, brothers like you, brothers like E, brothers like Jay, because they need to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of parents, they have their kids around their foolishness.
Oh yeah.
You don't see how foolish it is because you're living within that foolishness, but they don't need to see you with your partners just drinking, talking shit all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Show them how black men can do things that make sense and have conversation of value. You know what I'm saying? They have to see that because they grasp more of what they see than what you're saying out your mouth.
That's a fact. No, man, I think that's highly important. And Trey knows this. And Eric will know this. I keep my boys with me all the time. My oldest, now that he's 13, he start to help me with when I do production-based things and stuff like that. And I hire him. I pay him. I show him, worth. We're teaching him financial stability and how to save money. He has his own bank account, different things like that. I mean, I have a 23-year-old daughter, man. My daughter hit me last night, literally, no BS, hit me last night. And she asked me this question. As a dad, I was like, She's like, how old is too old for the guy that I could date? What age you
she
not
asked you that?
Yeah, she like, what age you not gonna be happy with?
That's a real conversation, though.
Yeah, dog. That's right. Look at Eric. Eric said, that hit me.
That's real.
It hit me, dog. Because my daughter's 23. She's about to graduate with a master's in social work. She already within her career. She's kicking ass already. Got a crib. She, pay her own bills. She do her own thing.
What's the answer though, nigga? What's the answer, man?
I told her. This is what I told her. I said I will be okay with a 10-year difference, but I prefer 3 years. I said I prefer 3 years because if you're 23, 3 years difference. He's 26. Y'all both growing within your careers and you're growing together. If this person is 33, 35, hopefully they're within their career. Now they feel like they can tell you what to do because they're older. Now this man feeling like, yo, yes, you're growing your career, but I've already done that. Do this this way. Y'all not growing together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not figuring things out together. Or that person is 33, 35, and the nigga ain't got shit together, and you're carrying a grown man.
Oh.
And y'all should be working together and not you just carrying someone.
Black father's nightmare, right?
Right. And I was like, but I prefer y'all growing together. I prefer the growth together, figuring things out, having, you know what I'm saying? And I always tell my daughter this too. I said, within your relationship, your relationship is your relationship. You keep me and your mother out of your relationship because we're going to have, if you come to us every time y'all have an issue, we're gonna form our own opinion about that person, and it's never gonna be favorable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So keep us out of it, unless it's abuse. Because if it's abuse, I'm coming and knocking. That's but
Well,
other than that,
even with the abuse side, just to pick that up, because
no, I agree too. Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 7. I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I got some sisters that didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
They went and jumped down with the niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, listen, I already know this type of motherfucker right here.
Word.
I already know how I get down. You know how your other brothers get down. I have an expectation that something is gonna happen. And the first solution you're gonna have come to mind is call my brothers.
Yep.
Now, if we tune this dude up and
go back.
keep him, what does that tell us?
Yep.
Because you're not even in the frame of mind where you're protecting your own welfare.
Yep.
To go back, especially if we got you out of a hostile situation. And you choose to make that. That's a conscious choice to choose that. Now, what do you think we should do in that state? Well, I don't know. I say, see all this confusion? Just let me know that. So I don't have a relationship with our dad.
Right.
That lets me know that dad didn't play a major role in your life, because this is happening and it shouldn't be happening. These conversations should have been had, and some lessons should have been learned on the way, but you're in this position. So with my daughter, it's totally different than my sister. My daughter is 18. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. And then we had the same conversation that similar to what your 23-year-old is having with you. And it's like,
it's
okay,
it's a hard convo,
because she asked me, she say, don't you want me to meet somebody like you? And everything flashed.
I depend on what stage of me. I always tell my daughter what stage.
Exactly.
It depends on the stage.
Me? Hell no.
Yeah.
Adult me with responsibilities and making sure that your brother and yourself are okay. Yeah, but that means you're going to meet somebody older and already into their system that they've created, which means you're going to have to fall in it.
Since we talking about that, let me rewind it back. I wish I would have asked it in between that, but everybody was talking. I didn't want to cut you off. When you have a child that age, let's say 18 through 25, like, what conversations would you have with that child that you wish would have been had with you? TS and I talk about it all the time. I don't hear somebody else.
Hold on one second. But E, you can chime in because you have nieces and nephews that you had to help.
It's really the same dynamic because you're mentoring them also. So even if it's not your child, let's just change it then. What would you say to that?
I even wish an uncle would have came to me with some information.
Same thing. Uncle, mentor, just whatever. What conversation would you have that
as an uncle, I think it's kind of dope because I can keep it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can say stuff that might not be, acceptable for the parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can keep it all the way 100. So, but I always try to tell them about the pitfalls. I mean, we seen them. We all seen them. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's our job to make sure that, although they're gonna see them, that they're better prepared for them when they do come across them.
That's a fact. I put online just the other day about that. I said, I love being an uncle. I literally just put that. I said, I love being an uncle because my nephew is getting ready to go to college and he called me. And he know that I'm college educated, and and his family in South Carolina, they, not everyone went to college, and a couple of them, they trying to push him to stay local, and he doesn't want to stay. So he was like, Uncle Sean, I know you're going to be honest with me. And him and I had a hour-long, I was working, I stopped working, I shut it down just for him, had an hour-long conversation about school, poses, things that he could think about doing, where you want to go at, what I'm saying? And he was like, I could talk to dad about it, which is my brother, but he was like, I just felt better talking to you about it because you went through it. My brother didn't go to college. He went to tech school. He went to, trade school and stuff like that. And we had a dope conversation about it. Right behind him, my niece called me. What I mean? Like literally right behind him. So I'm having another 30-minute conversation with my niece. My other nephew texts me, Uncle Sean, can I come and chill with you? I want to, I was like, yeah, come hang out because I'm in the tech world. He really wants to learn coding. He want to come and hang out tomorrow. So he's going to come hang out and get some ideas on Python and different things like that. So it's like, yo, I love that dynamic just outside of my own children. Like I'm going to feed my kids, even if they don't want it, I'm gonna give them the information. It's up to them to pick it up. I don't give a fuck. They already know it. You know what I'm saying? But my nieces and nephews, for them to come and ask for that, that stuff feels great. It's like, all right, Uncle Sean in the house.
Especially if you the cool uncle.
Yeah,
that cool
all
uncle
say that. I'm the cool, fresh.
But our communities, I brought it up because our communities underestimate the value and necessity of that.
Do we or don't we not talk about it?
If you don't talk about it, you undervalue it, because if you value it, you would talk about it.
Okay.
Right.
And you would applaud it.
No, I like how you did that. You fucking with me. I like that.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Let me cook.
I mean, it goes back to that our first conversation. Like, it should be applauded, man. What we actually do for other people, man. So I guess it's not valued at the rate it should be.
Because many of us, even with that, many of us go to college and we don't know what the fuck we majoring in.
True.
Right.
Oh,
then you get out of
have that real conversation,
then you get out of, this is what I'm saying. Then we get out of school with this piece of paper that's like, oh fuck.
Right.
Or we major in something that's being devalued.
Exactly.
And will have limited value by the time we finish school.
Oh
so
God.
Yeah, you finish school, because see, the older generation just tells you, oh, finish school, you'll be fine. Not necessarily.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And that degree might not be for everyone. There's so many avenues that conversation should be had.
The landscape is changing. The landscape always changes. So what you went to school for 4 years ago, 5 years now, AI done took that over.
But where's this, you know what I'm saying? But where's this information for the youth?
So I'm glad y'all brought that up, because in our Made for Success program, we work with a good group of kids, maybe 20, 30 kids that are juniors and seniors in high school. And majority of these individuals are young men, African-American young men, and some Hispanic. And I keep the conversation so 100. We talk about the fact that everybody's not going to college. Some of y'all are going to want to go into the military. Some of you guys are going to want to go to tech school. You're going to want to go to trade school. Some of you guys are going to actually get the opportunity to go to college and have a first-time experience of being in the dorms, away from mom, away from the fam, and other responsibilities other than yourself. The hardest part about college isn't hard. The hardest part about college is understanding time management and what that entails. I say, because you're not going to have your mom or your dad there to wake you up. Your roommate might not even wake you up. They're not responsible for you. Do you understand that? Because these kids ain't having these conversations about you missing days in school. It ain't like truancy in high school, because in college, you're paying for it. Whether you show up or not, you're paying for it. Now, you're on the hook for that. Say you do graduate within, most kids ain't going to school for 4 years. They're going 4.5, 5, sometimes 6. And they're graduating in debt. My son has a friend, he got accepted to Yale. The kid went to Yale. Right now, he's in his freshman year. He's already got $85,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
So I told my kids, I said, listen,
Ivy League is wild.
I said, listen, what we're not doing right here, we're not creating new slaves for the system. Once you go through, and your mom and I were very blessed and fortunate to where we came up in the era where we earned scholarships through athletics. Yeah. Mom ran track, I played football. You didn't want to play sports? Okay, great. You were either going to have to secure an academic scholarship, because we're not taking out loans. I don't care what they hustle and try to sell you on our school. We're not taking out loans. So if we can't afford it, we can't afford it. And if we have to go an alternative route from your favorite school that you would love to attend, nah, we're going to figure out something else. Because I'd rather you go to a community college or a state school and you get a degree in something that you think you have a passion for right now, because it's going to change. Midway through, you're going to probably want to change your major based on who you're in a relationship with, who you're hanging around with, and what you see the market changing to, if you pay attention to the market. So a lot of these, I tell my kids, school, college, I'm a proponent. First of all, I'm a proponent for higher education. I have a master's. I'm working on a doctorate. But it's a hustle. It's where you're going to take your talent and your money to. It's nothing. We came up to High Point, and we went to Winston-Salem. We went to A&T. We went to GCC.
Oh, you was in our area.
Oh, yeah, because my daughter is getting recruited by a lot of Ivy League schools. My wife is from Greensboro. So we came and did a tour because we were in the area. I said, there's nothing in this curriculum that says it's worth $68,000 a year. Well, we have a great communications program. You know what communications is? This is communications.
Yep.
There's nothing you could do with that degree, because if I could get on this podcast and do a live stream and I can go and promote and market that. You're telling me I'm gonna pay $68,000 a year to learn how to do that? Does that make sense? Maybe it makes sense to that parent that doesn't really invest in their kids like that and are willing to let them take out all these student loans. But to somebody that went through the system, that knows, I went to an all-black university, and then I transferred to a traditional white institution. Went from Prairie View A&M from the SWAC to Iowa. And it's levels to everything. And I'm saying to myself, man, the only thing really different is the money they invest and the color of the people that I'm around.
That's it.
And the attitude.
Yep.
So you're around your people, you're kicking it, you're having a great time. Hey, next thing you know, you're at a traditional white school. They don't do any of those things. So cultural shock, diversity change. But if you don't talk to these kids about the realities of college and money and sex and life after college, you're doing them a disservice.
Did you have someone talk to you when you made that transition from HBCU?
I wish somebody would have talked to me.
Because I had nobody talk to me, and I blew like a crazy opportunity. Like, I had a scholarship on the table and everything in more than one way. When I left St. Aug and went to NC State, I lasted like a year before I got put out of that school.
So wait, you went from St. Aug to NC State, or vice versa?
No, St. Aug, I went to NC State. They offered me a college scholarship, and I could have walked on and played sports. But socially, I just could not handle it.
So you went from a smaller school to a bigger school?
Yes.
So a lot of times that happened. You go from a classroom at an all-black university where you got maybe 80 to 100 people, then you go to
I had a classroom, maybe 20, 25 people, to classrooms of 300 people.
Exactly. But see, not having like a peer support or having someone that you could actually vibe with to get an understanding of how to adjust to that probably played heavily into you saying, you know what, that cognitive dissonance kicks in.
No, I was in the streets.
This ain't me.
I was in PWI the whole time. You know what, man? I was the opposite, and I think we talked about this on the podcast. I never wanted to go to a black college.
Really?
I never wanted to go to.
Bruh.
I never wanted to go to one. I never had an interest of going to one. Everything I ever heard was always horror stories that made me not go. And I visited some. College scholarships was offered to me to play basketball. South Carolina State, different all these other different HBCUs. Florida State offered me a scholarship and took the scholarship away. And I still took
the business.
And
you went there anyway?
I still went. I went to a community college first. And then I transferred over. I went to Tallahassee Community College, spent a year, transferred over, got my scholarship back, played ball there. You know what I mean?
An advantage y'all have in the South, and Eric, you probably know what I'm talking about. You do know what I'm talking about. Growing up in New York, you don't have conversations about college or universities. You don't have none of that shit.
Nah.
Really?
None of that.
You don't even go.
HBCU
guidance counselors.
They ain't shit. HBCU, listen, I went to St. Aug because they had open admission. And I got my high school diploma from a community college because I got put out of the high school. And I wanted to go somewhere, either there or the military. My mother had a fit when I was going to go to the Air Force because I had some high scores or whatever. And I was going to go to Air Force just to have them pay for me to go to school.
Yeah.
My mother crying before I signed the paper. So I was like, whatever. And I'm going to St. Aug. Because Central, you had certain level of admissions you had to go through.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get in there. And I didn't want to go to Shore because it was mad small. I saw one building. I was like, yo, you wild.
Right next door to each other. They right
look like the projects. Still shows the projects, B. I'm like, nah, it's like the projects. I ain't doing that. So that's how I ended up going to St. Aug.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I ain't know anything about school or nothing like that. Like,
it's amazing to me when people say, man, I ain't never heard no HBCUs.
Because I think growing up y'all don't even have any, right? And
New York,
Jersey.
And then Cali, going out towards the west.
There's one in Pennsylvania, though. There's one in Pennsylvania, but nobody really knows it's an HBCU. It's just a D2 school to most people. Like in New York, even if you play ball, New York, if you don't have a D1 scholarship, they look at it like, now it's probably different because of social media, but if you get a D2 scholarship, niggas looking at you like you trash.
Yeah, it's real.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know my man had an offer to play for St. Bonaventure, and they were clowning him. But I knew college because I love college basketball. Yeah. I'm like, that's an Atlantic 10 school. What's wrong with that? I was like, that's some bullshit. And he ended up going to the military because, he didn't know.
You know how many parents I get that bring their kids that want their kids to go to a D1 school, and I talk to the kid, and I'm like, he's not ready for a D1 program. He's not. He may be physically, he probably looks physically mature, but mentally, he's not ready for a D1 program.
It's a different space, man.
And-
It's a lot of
yeah.
practice. It's a
It's a
regimen,
job. It's a
right?
job.
That's why I'm
And-
glad the kids are getting paid right now. To be honest, I love all this.
Or I
getting
couldn't
kids
be
getting
in this
paid.
climate right now.
Oh my God. I'll be rich, boy. I'm telling
Hey,
you.
Chris,
I got paid
you
like I was doing
You
back
plan
in the
on playing
day.
football today? Yeah, coach. After I do this autograph signing, I'm gonna.
Right,
I mean,
yo,
I would have went to schold.
dog. If they had the money
I
like they
definitely
do
would've-
now, when I laugh like in Florida State when old boy got in trouble for the crab legs.
James.
Oh, we all was doing that. I
He's
know
a-
that Publix. That
he's a-
Publix.
That
he's-
shit
we
happens
all did that.
everywhere.
We
He's
all-
a character though. He's a
Dog, I
character.
wasn't even a high level player, dog, and we was getting free crab legs at that same Publix. You know what I mean? Like I used to laugh, yo. Peter, what's the old boy?
Peter Wagner was before with
Yeah, they was
Lavernius.
before them. No,
So, yeah,
when
I'm like-
I went in 2000. So I was in
Okay.
Tallahassee and all around that time. That's when they used to have Dimp Week and all that other stuff. And they even the guys that was at the school the year before in 99, they were still going to that same Publix. Like all of us knew that. Like that was just the game. So when he got caught for it, we was like, you idiot, how you get caught for that? Like,
Well,
Nah,
any-
that's
any-
somebody.
Anybody that's lived a life knows when he got caught doing that, he wasn't the only person doing that.
nah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That sounded like that was just a community hustle. Let's steal from this spot. And he just did something wrong and got
He
caught.
did. He definitely
You
did.
probably was just
You know what
acting
I'm
real
saying?
Brody about it. Like, man, whatever.
No,
man,
but
whatever.
the media loves to take stuff like that and give you this image. He's always had an image throughout his career, and it seems like he always does something else to add to it. That if somebody else did it, nobody would care. Whether it's the way he acts in the interview, the way he does in the locker room, what he does on the sidelines. Once they put that spotlight on you, they're gonna find anything about you to make a conversation.
Don't make it easy for him.
I mean,
That's all it is. Don't make it easy for him.
some people actually like the attention. I think he enjoys just playing a game with people, man. I
Hey,
mean,
yo, Hey, quick one. Eric got to jump off. He has a meeting he has to go to. So I already knew
word.
this was going to happen. He has a hard out. Yo, E, we
Okay.
appreciate you.
Yo, I
know
appreciate
we was having a
y'all.
lot of family relationship conversations.
Word.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Nothing better than getting jewels from my own brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all.
And the great
Hey,
thing is,
man,
I wish
appreciate you.
I would know he was going to transition to it, but Eric is in the entertainment field. He produces films, TV shows. Like he literally knee deep in it. And
Eric,
like,
I need to connect you with my man Mike Wright out in Atlanta. He owns 2 radio stations, and they starting to do some stuff with Sony and Tyler Perry Studios there.
he
His
do a
name
lot
is
with
Mike
Tyler
Wright.
Perry
He owns
Studios.
Big Shot Radio. So
All right, that's what's up. Let's talk,
I'll
man.
send the info to Sean, and then he can shoot it
got
up,
you.
and y'all can connect.
I got
I
you.
appreciate you.
All right,
Definitely,
E, we'll
let's do it.
politic later, man.
All right, y'all brothers be safe.
all right,
All
bro.
All right, bro.
Indeed, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace. But yeah, man. But yeah, with Eric, like he's literally what I mean. He works a lot of stuff with Tyler Perry Studios. He do a lot with different studio houses. Like, bro, really like knee deep in the film world. Hold on a second. Hello, son. Huh? I don't have a problem with that. All right, we'll talk later,
When Sean turned profile, he sounded like a real dad.
bro.
Son,
Yo, my little one, let me tell you something. Trey will tell you, my little one don't care nothing about me doing a podcast or nothing. He wants his time. If he got a question, he's gonna ask it. He don't care about none of that.
That's my guy.
He'll come down here. He'll literally sit on me. He like, you know what time it is? Give me a hug. Like he's like my wife. He's super affectionate. You know what I'm saying? I call them the snuggle bunnies. Them two are super affectionate people. They need their hugs. They need their time. And I just give it to them. You know, you got
Take
some
advantage
people.
of that, bro.
Yeah,
Take
especially
advantage of all of that.
As a man, I think about myself and digress. I get no hugs coming up. You know what I mean? Not even from my mother.
Nah,
My
most
mother
of us
wasn't a
didn't.
big proponent of hugging. My dad was in my life until my mom and dad separated, and it wasn't even separated, amicable separation. It was grab the kids, we're gone. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because it was abusive situation. I didn't get no hugs and none of that. So now I'm in a situation where, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hugging. And I'm not good at that. Like I've never really been good at that, but I just adapt. I just said, this is what they need. I'm going to give them what they need. You know what I'm saying? And no
Real
matter
talk.
how I feel about it, they understand how I feel about it. I just deal with it and I do it, but I do it with love. So like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Hey man, take it. Like I said, take advantage of that. I
Yeah.
told a
Look,
client,
I'd say it like this. I did an interview not yesterday, day before yesterday, and I said in the interview, I always used to hug my son, kiss him on the forehead, top of the head, and all that shit, playing with him, whatever. I do that with my father now. Every time I see him, he used to get mad at that shit. Now he just laugh. Every time I see my mother, I hug her and I kiss her. Yo, when I see my partners, I give him dap and I give a hug. I told my uncle I ain't shaking his hand no more. He 85. I give him a hug. I don't know what it is with us, man. I do know what it is, but we got to break out of that shit.
we do.
I'll break out of that bullshit, man. If I give you dap and give you a hug, man, that ain't shit. Like, fuck.
Right.
Nigga, we know how we move, nigga. If I give Jay a hug, man, that nigga know I ain't sweet.
Yeah, right. Indeed.
No big deal. We ain't embracing, my nigga.
Just don't hold the hug.
Nigga, I ain't trying to
Get that
hold
shit
you.
out of there, bro. Don't.
First of all,
Get out.
this nigga 8 feet tall. That hug got to be different. I ain't gonna be
You're on your tippy toes.
I ain't gonna be in your chest and shit, nigga. Fuck that. Don't tall that nigga.
No, but real talk, man. Every week I cut my son's hair, right? And get him laced up, get him crispy. I'm like, I wish I could cut my hair the way I cut your hair.
Right.
His payment to me is a hug and a kiss. And he's at this stage now. Trey, he done bulked up. He like 205 now. So he's walking around like, yeah, Dad. And he always flexing. I'm like, stop looking in the mirror, man. You good. He go to Gold's Gym, and I'm like, I get it. I get it, Chris. His name is Chris. He's the second. I said, I get it. I said, you look exactly like I looked when I was 19. I said, don't get it twisted. But he's like, I think I'm strong. I might be stronger than you right now. I said, listen, dog, let me explain something to you. I grew up with Polynesians, nothing but Samoans and Tongans. We worked out to where this muscle memory is still there. Trust me. So now he done got me a membership at Gold's Gym. So I hit the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning to 7:30. And I'm like, yeah, you really gonna have some problems now because now I'm catching back up.
Right. Yo, it's funny with my son.
It's fun, that relationship.
Oh, yeah. My 13-year-old, we had that. He every so often he try to do little shit, like, because he getting older, he getting taller. You know what I'm saying? 13, he almost 6 foot. So he getting taller. His dreads, his locks are getting longer. So he been like bulking up. So yesterday I said, all right, I got something for you. He was in my room and he know I hate it. Don't sit on my bed, especially on my side of the bed. He sit down and he looked at me. My wife looked. I looked at him. I grabbed him. And he was like, oh, man, you ain't strong. I picked him up. And before you know, he was like, Dad. And I literally picked him up, threw him on my shoulder, long legs, walked him outside my room, and I put him on the floor, and I just sat on him. I said, bro, don't get it twisted, bro. Don't get it. Don't think shit is sweet out here. Like, he just laughing. My youngest looking at me, why you always Dad beating you up? And I was like, yeah. But I do that so the little one, because the little one's going to be taller than all us. And by the time he gets to an age, I ain't going to feel like dealing with none of that shit. So he got to see what I can do to his brother.
Yeah, enjoy all of that shit, man. My son's 29, man. It's a different energy. You know, when they get that age, man. You know what I'm saying? It's different because I hear from my son every day, whether it's a text message or a call. And it's like, to me, it's dope to have a son that age that still, gives a fuck about pops, man. Because, when you have a co-parent situation, it's rough, man, because it's a natural instinct for a young man to check on mom first.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Because they always think pops is okay. I'll be halfway hating, like, fuck you up for, nigga. Like, but I get it, because he also got a sister because she had another child. And I always tell him, man, yo, take care of the women, man. It kills my time a little bit. We got to be more creative in the time we spend, face to face, because he's 29, he working, he paying his own bills, he trying to do his thing, figure out life, man. And I want him to learn a lot of things. We had a couple of situations where it kind of got tough, where we had to have the dad-son shut down on the phone and get things together, man, because when you co-parent, a lot of times, the mother overcompensates with bullshit with the fact you're not there.
Yeah.
And they baby him a little bit. And
right.
you got to be the bad guy with your own child. I had to do that for a while. And now, like he was on our podcast. And you know, TS probably knows him better now because he was on the podcast. And he's even said as he got older, he realizes why certain things were what they were and why I had to be hard on him in certain situations. And I didn't want to be that hard guy all the time, man. Pause. But you got to be that tough guy with your son sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was why I caught myself. You got to be tough. You got to be tough with your son sometimes. And you know, when you're young, they tell you this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. And you're like, what? You're beating my ass. What are you talking about? Then when you become older, you realize it like, damn, you know, you said that tough shit to your child, then you get in the room by yourself. It's like, damn, I ain't want to talk to him like that. But he had to hear that though.
Man, I'm always the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy.
You gotta go through it.
It's crazy to be the bad guy.
But you gotta go through it. You gotta go through it.
For me, with my oldest kid is this, man. We just kind of a couple years ago rekindled our relationship. We didn't have a relationship for a number of years of her life because of that co-parenting shit. You know what I mean? One parent is the bad guy, the other parent isn't the bad guy. One parent keeps the child away from you. You know, different dynamics. So, you know what I mean? For me, when me and my daughter rekindled our relationship, she was getting ready to graduate high school. She was close to graduating high school when we rekindled our relationship. And once we did that, you would swear up and down, and we've had my daughter on the podcast as well. You would swear up and down. We've known each other and we've been around each other the whole duration of her life. You know what I'm saying? Because out her own mouth, she told me, I see it now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? She was like,
happen.
Everyone else can tell me whatever they could tell me, but now I see what it was. And she was like, I'm gonna leave it at that. To me, she now is like, oh, you caught it, you understood. Because I don't play the bad guy role. I don't do the dissing your mama. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I don't care about that shit. I got you now. We here. You know what I'm saying? And she'll tell you, I'll never talk down on her mother. And no matter how much I feel inside, I never talk down on her mother. So I just, especially in front of her. Now, I might do it behind the scenes, but in front of her, I don't do it. And
it's wasted energy. It's wasted energy, man. It's a wasted energy.
Like Chris?
And most people do that when they don't have nothing of value to share. They just start mudslinging. But go ahead.
For real. So Trey, you said your son is 29.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with a client the other day. I said, listen, if you're in your child's life, seriously, 90% of all the time that you will ever have spent with your child is up until the age of 18. Because after 18, they're usually leaving the house, going to college, military, or they're working and they're in the process of trying to figure it out and building a life.
Right.
Take advantage of all that time, because my client's daughter was 14 at the time and she's still wanting to be around that. And it really surprised me that when my kids were juniors and seniors in high school, a friend of mine asked me, said, so your kids start falling out with you yet? I said, no, man, we go to the movies, we hang out. My daughter comes, she lays on my chest like she's still 5 years old. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah. I said, I haven't experienced that withdrawal of that emotional content from my kids. They're growing up, but they still act like they're my kids.
Right.
I'm looking at my son. He's
no,
taller than me.
I had that. I had that though. I mean, I had that in there. It was 1.5 years where me and my son really wasn't talking. He was in college fucking up. And what happened was his mother was babying him. You know what I mean? And I knew he was messing up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one day I pulled up on him at school. And I could tell, you know, he came outside, the bucket hat on, the beard was looking all rough. They got shook, man. You know, I ain't no soft ass nigga, man. So I rolled up on him like I would roll up. Like I came out the car, just rolled up. And I knew he was messing up, man, because I could see it, because we wasn't communicating. If I don't hear from my son on a regular basis, I know something isn't right. It's always been that way. Like I taught my son how to read, I taught him how to write, all of that. Me and my son always had that bond. But this particular time when he went to school, things just went crazy. And then he said something about the financial aid not coming in or whatever. And I don't say this to knock my son. I actually say this to compliment my son, because he overcame all of that and just went on strong from there. Boom, boom, just elevating. But he had to go through that. My disappointment was not even anger at him for making a mistake. My disappointment was he didn't come to me.
Right.
Because I always tell them there's no mistake you will ever make to the level of the mistakes I make. I know that. I say, because the kind of shit I was doing ain't in you. You know what I'm saying? And I say that, I'm glad.
Right. Me too.
Because I look back on the shit I was doing like, what the fuck was you doing? Like, where did you think this was going to end at?
You're not thinking about ending.
That's my point. So I say to him, there is nothing you're going to do in school, out of school, life, or whatever. You know what I mean? That I'm ever going to look at you and be like, what were you thinking? Because I know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
We're just going to fix it so where we're not here again to have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I had that short period, but that also made us stronger to this point. You know what I mean? Like, he has a podcast with his friends. They talk about sports or whatever, man. But, you know, I love to see fathers with their children because, you know, I don't know. My son is older than your children, man. You have to get to that point. And it's going to be times of turmoil. And the way you handle that turmoil is going to determine, you know, how the future holds with that child. Like, that's the tough part, holding your composure within that turmoil.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna pull some strength that you didn't even know you had.
Well, that's a different level of adversity that you're gonna have to deal with as a parent because, like I said, like you said, I haven't gotten to that stage. I've grown through some stages, but I haven't grown to that point yet. And it's coming. And what I feel like sometimes as parents, Jay, you have kids?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I got two kids, 19 and 22.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Right
Yeah,
around.
he on his way.
Okay.
He on his way.
Okay.
You got all daughters or boy and girl?
I got a daughter's 19, my son's 22.
Oh yeah.
Same. Okay, basically like the same situation that I have, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing is we try to shield our kids from all the adversity and all the things that we had to go through to become the person that we are today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But if they don't go through and bump that head and get knocked around, how do they develop that inner strength?
I hate that thought process because that was always my father's thought process.
Well, how
You know
how do you grow through dealing with that different levels of adversity? Because we probably grew up just in different areas.
Yeah, but
not saying that you want them exposed to that.
I didn't really grow through it though. That shit destroyed me.
Yeah, me too.
Because you sent me to a private school in New York City where I'm the enemy. Where I almost got to fight every day or ignore a fight so I don't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Where I have to deal with racism at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Where I have to deal with abuse from teachers at a young age, where you don't support me because you still have faith in the school system. You know what I'm saying? That shit fucked me up. Because when I come home, you don't believe what I'm saying because you believe these teachers. And these teachers are white people. So it's more than them just being a teacher. It's also them being the establishment that doesn't want to see me successful. You're paying for me to go to a private school and I taught myself how to write. You know what I'm saying? But you're not listening to me to hear me. They ain't teaching me shit. That made me militant. That made me aggressive. That made me combative. And it made me an introvert. So I didn't trust anybody, black or white. So I just learned how to be a friend. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I applaud you for that.
I just got to a point where I can tell Jay I'm proud of you. Because I have to talk to people that way. Where I can tell TS I love him. That's my brother. That's not my friend. That's my brother. Yeah. And when I talk to K-Dub, I tell people that's my mentor. See what I'm saying? And when I give a ring to my woman, I can have tears in my eyes because that's different.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a level of growth I would never think I would get to. Because we all got something inside of us that we don't even know is there.
Real.
And to find that, it's going to hurt first. But when the hurt is over, we did. Well, y'all go ahead.
No, you cooking. Hey, no.
That's dope,
hey, because you was having a breakthrough right there. And I was going to keep cooking.
Yep. I wasn't going to say nothing.
See, what we tend to do when we get to that point, we'll pause because we're acknowledging that emotion that we're evoking there. And sometimes it's best to let that simmer, man. Let that cook because it's real. Sometimes we, as men, we don't vocalize that to one another enough to let you know how real we are.
Yeah.
Because if you catch this tough exterior up, you know what I mean? Like you said, we all grew up in similar ways, you know what I'm saying, but in different areas, you know what I'm saying? And he's right. Like you guys, like Trey talking about moving from New York to down south. You know, I moved from the Midwest. I'm from Detroit and moved all the way to the South Carolina. You know what I mean? First hint of racism I ever seen was in South Carolina. You know what I mean? And then realizing mentally, I can't do this. Also hustling, you know what I mean? Being in the streets, really turning into what my daddy was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Man.
seeing him being a hustler, telling myself I'm never going to do that. Next, you know, I'm out here selling dope. You know what I mean? Doing the same thing. Don't have to do it. Doing that shit, and you realize you don't have to do this shit, but you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I look at my boys and I'm like, the one thing I don't do is tell my boys, y'all got it easy, man. Way I grew up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't tell them that. Yo, you have these luxuries for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm out here busting my ass. Now, I'm just teaching you how to also bust your ass. I get what Trey's saying. You know, you don't want them to go through the hurt, but I also feel like you kind of got to go through some of your own pain or your own trials and tribulations on your own, whatever you create for yourself. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm always going to be right here. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest supporter. If you go through it and you need someone to speak to, I'll have an open door policy. And that's the great thing about my kids. I love, from my 23-year-old daughter to my 8-year-old son. If they going through something, they never had a problem with just coming to me. Come and tell me. Because I don't judge. I just listen. And then you cry or you do whatever. And I ask you, okay, now that you're done doing that, what can we do to fix this? You know what I'm saying?
That's their new work. That's their new work. We need more.
Trey has encountered that with my oldest son. I was on the phone talking with him. My son upset. He crying. I got off the phone with him. Sit down, bro. Let's talk. He telling me everything, how he feeling. Okay, cool. I acknowledge your feelings. Cool. All right, you done? You feel better? Now, what are we going to do to fix this? Let's talk about solution based. All right? Yeah. Let's figure out what we can do to fix this. And now, once you say what you want to do, now I'm going to hold you to you correcting whatever thing that you went through during this moment. Let's hold each other accountable for that. I'm going to hold myself accountable for my tone and how I'm coming to you about things. I want you to hold yourself accountable for how you conducting and how you doing things, especially because my biggest thing, I tell my kids all the time, man, you don't have no job. You know why you don't have no job? Your only job is school. Yeah. That's it. This early stage, go to school, bro. I'm not saying that you got to go to college and none of that. I'm proud of my daughter when she's at an HBCU. You know what I'm saying? She's at Fayetteville State. She changed my mind about HBCUs. Seeing that in there. And granted, I used to live on FAMU campus. We all know how to. I used to live on that
FAMU is Prairie View.
Bro.
It's the same school, different location.
Yeah. Phenomenal things to see out there. I just didn't
want to Jay, you went to Central, right?
Yeah, I went to Central. Yep.
Yeah. You went to GCC or you went to Central State?
North Carolina Central.
Okay.
Oh, NCC. Yeah.
Right around the corner from my mama's house.
Ball City.
Man.
Oh, look. Hold on. I got Dub, I got to tell you, when you in Greensboro, you like 30, 45 minutes away from me, right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's all I'm going to say. And when your ass be in Central, you like 10 minutes from my house.
Literally.
Wow. You got to pass. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not starting no conversation. I'm just telling y'all, this is what it is.
Real talk.
Whatever you do, don't let your baby go to A&T.
Nah.
Don't let your baby go to A&T.
Hey, look.
Ain't no but sharks out there, boy. I was
gonna say that too. Baby go to A&T.
That shit ain't nothing but the party school.
Bruh,
all HBCUs is party school.
Party school,
yeah, for sure.
And the funny thing about the party school is when I got the PV, man, I thought I knew some stuff. I get up there and I'm on the hill, and they said the first thing they ever told me is like, "Hey, man, the hill is different." I'm like, "Different like how?" Bruh, it's 14-1. 14-1, and it's a buffet. And I ain't never seen the black diaspora from darkest night to lightest white, and you're like,
bro, that's FAMU.
I want to try the entire buffet. That's what got me kicked out. So undisciplined and unfocused would get you kicked out of a situation.
I thought I went to FAMU because I used to be on the yard so much, bro. Those 7 hills, different. I was on the yard all the time. I was like, yo, I got to go to class. What class you got? Hey, bro, I go to Florida State. I got to go across town.
What you doing down here?
But you always over here. I'm like, bro, why not? This is shaking over here. The DJ on the yard, it's shaking. I just can't go to school.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's different, man. I didn't really get the value of my experience that I really could have, but it's different. It's so much dopeness that goes around on the HBCU outside of the negative elements that are there.
I would have changed it. I won't lie. I would have changed it. If I could go back, I probably would have gone to HBCU.
Yeah,
Knowing everything that I
it's some
know now
dopeness
and
there.
the experiences that I've had, don't get me wrong. I mean, family was cool, but
Yeah,
This is
you
this
know
is
the
this is
Florida
HBCU,
State was cool.
this is why these conversations are necessary with the youth, so they can make an educated choice of which direction they want to go.
real talk.
Most of us made knee-jerk reactions to go to college. You know what I mean? We didn't really think about our major too much. We just grabbed something.
I'm going to
They-
college for what?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'll
you
figure
know
it
what
out when I
mean?
get there.
I didn't. I was
My son changed his major several times. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I
Sean,
didn't.
you knew
I was-
exactly
I
what
was
you wanted to go
I
to
knew
school
exactly
for?
what I was going to school for. Yeah, and I went right
Was it
for it. And
engineering or something?
nah, I went to school for business. I should have went for engineering. That's the sad part about it. I went to school for business. I was I got my master's in marketing, business administration. Focus was mostly on marketing. And the sad part is all my life I've been in computer tech, coding, and different things of that nature. Never went to school for that. Got certifications in that, and went full-fledged ahead in that. You know what I mean? Which was crazy. But and I didn't think, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm 43, so I didn't think computers were gonna be that. I didn't, we at that time, we were still dial up and all that other stuff.
Yup,
It just
yup.
started getting high speed as things progressed. I went to college thinking people was like, yo, I remember seeing on the thing, computer science. And I was like, nah, man, and the internet shit is not gonna be alive. All that stuff ain't gonna work. And soon as I graduated with my bachelor's, the internet was crazy. Everybody was walking
Crazy.
around with the big ass Dell laptops. You know what I
Yup.
mean?
Big,
Like,
heavy, $2,000 laptops.
Bro, you remember? So I had
they-
one of
they-
those.
they
I
used
had to
be-
hustle to get mine, but I had it.
Right.
And then got my master's, and I was going to change my master's program, but then it was going to set me back if I'd have done that. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, all right, cool. And then got all my certifications, C++, all this other stuff. And,
Oh, yeah.
and you know what I mean? I'm an instructional designer, all this other stuff online. And I'm like, that's my career now. You know what I mean? Make all my money doing that now. And I don't do nothing. Yes, I'm a businessman, but everything I learned business-wise, I didn't learn in school. They don't teach
That's
you
what you got to tell.
entrepreneurship.
You really got to impress upon the kids that the college is still a hustle once
Yep.
you finish college, because just you have the degree doesn't mean that you got employers lining up to hire you.
No.
And I was out. What I learned from college, man, is that it doesn't work for everybody, because I grew up with a hustler mindset. I grew up in a hustler situation, so I can make money in any area. I had 2 businesses on campus. So when I got to college, I figured out the hustle of college. I figured out if I read the damn syllabus, the syllabus is going to tell me how to get a C.
Yep.
All you have to do is show up.
Yep.
You're going to have 75 grade. So even if you don't pass the test, the quizzes or whatnot, guess what? You're still going to pass the class with a C.
Put your
But if
name
you-
on the paper, you automatically get 10 to 15 points. Just put
Like,
your name
what?
on the paper.
So
Yeah,
wait a minute, all I have to do is
that's
do
crazy.
this?
You're
Are
right.
you serious? Then I figured out I got kicked out of PV. I left P, and then this is full disclosure. I got kicked out of PV with a 1.3 GPA.
Hmm.
It was like, Mr. White, you doing too much shit. You ain't understand when we sent you the academic probation letter 1. Well, here's academic probation letter 2. You can't even be on campus. Okay, what the hell does that mean? That means, look, you ain't got to leave, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Right.
So next thing you know, I'm trying to figure out for the next year and a half what the hell I'm about to do. I'm gonna join the military. I'm gonna do something. Worked in the factory, and I'm like, oh, this ain't for me. When I got to the opportunity, God has a different way of blessing people, and your blessing might not come in a direct way. It might come vicariously through someone else, and that's how mine came. I told my wife we were having this conversation. I said, I just realized that I've never failed at anything in my life. And she said, what? You just talked to me about you getting kicked out of college. And I said, yeah, but was that a failure or was that a lesson?
Right.
Because if I didn't get kicked out of PV, I wouldn't have ended up at Iowa.
Right.
I had to walk on at Iowa, walked on, earned the scholarship. And the next thing you know, I meet you. The first day I met this girl, I told the girl I was going to marry her. She was like, boy, you crazy. You don't even know me.
Right.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But we didn't date then. It ended up happening 3-4 years later. And so when I started reflecting on things, you know how they say, you don't have any losses, you have lessons.
Yes.
Most
You
definitely.
only have a
Most definitely.
loss if you don't look at that as a lesson.
Lesson.
But
Yeah.
if you take that lesson and you say, why, instead of why is this happening to me? What is this trying to teach me? If you really invest in that, you realize, okay, I done figured out every way to not do this wrong. I tried it 999 times.
Times,
On
right.
1,000th time, I got it figured out.
Right.
And I can't do it wrong now
Right.
because I've worked out all the variables. So that's a beautiful thing about life. And when I hear Trey talk about his experience with high school and college, I hear what you saying, Sean, and I'm listening. I'm like, man, you know what? I've never really talked to too many brothers about their situation. I went to this college in Iowa. I went to college in Iowa. I ended up graduating with 3 degrees, not because I'm just a genius. It's because I had a coach who said, I'm giving you an opportunity. And I've already talked to your mother, and I guaranteed her that you're going to graduate with a degree. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do first, second session for summer school every year that you're here. You're going to take a full load. I mean, 16 hours every semester that you're here. You're going to go through this thing called interim, where you could come back to school early over Christmas break. You're going to take a full load. So by the time my 4th year rolled around, dog, I had so many hours that crossed over into 2 different majors.
Mhm.
So I got a degree in criminal law, one in psychology, and one in sociology.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wait a minute, because you can't kick me off campus and take my scholarship. I'm here and I can take advantage of all of this. That's the
Gotcha.
hustle. They're
Right.
going to figure out how to hustle you. You got to figure out how to hustle them. So once I
Indeed,
figured out
indeed.
they couldn't take that scholarship, it was at the time in 98, it was 31.5 a year. That
Mhm.
same 31.5 is 64,000
Yep.
for the same stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm saying to myself,
School is
okay,
different, man. It's a
let me
hustle
get this
for real.
master's because you gotta pay for it until I leave. So you gotta honor my athletic scholarship till I leave physically. Let me eat. I'm gonna eat
Nah,
then.
you were smart with it, man. I didn't. I took my ass
That's-
overseas. I tore my knee up. And then they fixed my knee, and I was going back to campus, and the same thing, honoring the scholarship. Then I said, man, I still want to play. I know I'm not gonna have another opportunity on this team. Took my ass right to Spain, and that automatically killed my scholarship. Scholarship automatically killed. Went right to Spain and hoop.
Professional
And,
athlete.
I mean, made that money though. I made some chicken out there,
Yeah.
but I didn't take advantage. I came back and I got my degrees and stuff from a smaller college, from a private college called Kaiser University. So I got my degrees from a smaller college. Like, so my when I transitioned my transcript, they pretty much said the same thing. They was like, yo, you actually have enough credits to be able to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this, and this, and let's finish this up. You know what I mean? Let me knock
Right.
this out. And because I finished my master's online here when I moved here in 08. I moved here in 08, finished my master's online, working the full 9 to 5 and everything. And when I finished, I was like, I didn't even go do the ceremony.
Ceremony?
No, just send me my shit, man. I never did
But you
none
see
of
where
my
the
ceremonies.
technology
I never
took you?
did none of my ceremonies, man. I didn't even my bachelor's. I was moving around. So I'm in the music, I'm heavy, I'm engineering, you know what I mean? I'm in the studios, I'm out in Atlanta, I'm in LA. I'm like, yo, when I realized I was still working on my school stuff, and I realized, I was like, oh shit, I graduated. Oh, graduation is today. I ain't even tell my mama. I just got the diploma in and sent it to her. I said, "Oh, Mom, I graduated my bachelor's." She was like, "I could have. What was?" I'm like, "Mom, I forgot." But I'm over here in Sacramento working. So, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
ain't thinking about it. You know what I mean?
The
It
things
was
that we
like
put the
I never went to
priorities
none.
on.
But so it was crazy, and I transitioned. My daughter graduated. That was going to her graduation when she graduated with her bachelor's. It's my first time going to a college graduation. I didn't go to none of mine. So it was my first time going to a college graduation, was my daughter's graduation. And I sat there like, oh, that's how this feels. This is fire.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, and then you see
That's
your
my
kid, I'm
daughter.
taking pictures. I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Big flowers and stuff. Like, yo, oh, this is how that feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely neglected myself by not going to none of my graduations, but I got the paperwork. I don't use that shit.
Yeah.
I got it. You know what I mean?
Bananas.
Yo, let me ask a question, man. I got this one. I got this. This might be the last question of the show, man. But what would you like to see more in our community? You know what I mean? It's a lot going on right now. It's politics season. You know what I mean? You got the politicians. you know, hunting and gathering. They just said that the Democrats are gonna spend what, 3.4 billion into getting our black vote. What do you? And I don't want to make this a political conversation theme thing, but what do you
think
guys
about
want to
the
see more
wash.
within our community? Yeah.
Yeah, you really have to
Jay,
think
what you
about
got?
that because
I have a thought. I have a
Okay,
thought.
go ahead. Let's hear it.
Conservatism in the black community,
Mm-hmm.
not accepting the progressive thoughts that negatively affect us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we literally, if someone is given a handout, we will run right behind them in a heartbeat. And even if if there's a perception that there's a handout coming, we will run behind them.
Hey,
I think
say what you want to say, brother, because I'm no longer
Yeah.
I'm not Democrat nor Republican. So say what you're gonna say. Like I know
so.
I know where you're going. Say that shit.
I literally feel like if someone promises us something, even if they have delivered or not over the last 100 years, we will still follow them blindly.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to be more self-sufficient and figure out how to do it on our own.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. That's just me.
when you said
Okay.
conservatism,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I went to was the church. You're never going to see more conservative people than in the black church. As much as we want to stay rooted in this and we're not progressive, guess what? The church kind of shuts down a lot of those things. And it's usually with the older demographic.
Oh, yeah.
So even when a lot of churches now are bringing politics, whether you got a black mayor or you have a city councilman, we tend to try to get the church to back them. So when he said conservatism, I said, oh, I thought he was going to go in there with the church, but I agree with you. We want to be able to become more self-sufficient. I go through different areas of Houston and I see little Asia and I see little India and I see little Mexico, but I'm trying to figure out, my kids were with me one day and they said, well, this is where all the Mexican people do business and it's like a whole area. And the Asian people do all this business over here.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it where all the black people do all their business?
We just call it the hood.
And
nothing but destruction and bullshit.
And we don't own anything there.
Don't own
and the craziest shit in the world is you think it ain't no money in the hood. And I tell my kids to be hyper aware and pay attention. I say, you see those gas stations that just were built and there's one on each corner at this one intersection? The same person owns all four.
Yep.
He's giving you the illusion that you have an option.
Yep.
But why would they be building multi-million-dollar stores in the hood if it was no money in the hood?
The beer cooler is bigger than the whole store.
Come on, man.
The beer cooler is a whole wall.
See, the problem is that we either lost our identity or
we gave it away.
Again,
we didn't lose it.
Yeah, okay. There was another one.
We gave it away.
We gave it away.
We're still giving it away.
Or we don't, or like he said, we're following blindly to something. Like it was a point where the couple of generations before us, they had those areas, the Black Wall Streets, this, that, and the third. Durham had a big Black Wall Street. Different other places had their own areas. Yes, things happened where it was destroyed. Why didn't we decide to go back to that, recreate that in a more subtle, formative way? Like even now, we spend billions of our money into everybody else's economic growth, but not our own. We also create the same businesses over and over. Everybody is a barber. Everybody's a hairstylist. Impact. Nothing.
Entertainment.
Yep. We all in entertainment. Fashion. We all think about the different businesses. Let's keep it a buck. Even us four right here. We all dibble and dabble within the same business.
Mm-hmm.
We all in some form of entertainment. Yes. Some of us also have some other things. Chris, why you're a healthcare professional as well.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You're in mental health and things that we don't see that often in our community, someone leading that. You know what I'm saying? I'm currently dibble and dabble in trucking and I have a real estate, but think about it. Damn near everybody Black is within real estate or some form of trucking, and they not, and I don't know how they doing it, but we all kind of do the same businesses. None of us own a grocery store.
Right.
That's community growth and impact.
But you
None of
just
us.
said community.
Yep.
That when you have a community, it's not a hood.
Nope.
The community is the bank, the grocery,
There we go.
the
Banks.
schools.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. When I go into these more affluent areas, you see it's all encompassing.
Yep.
And it's the first thing you say is, I want to move over there because they have everything that you've been wanting
Yep.
to be where you are. And,
Yep.
and I'm not saying I live in a bad area. We have a community. I see different influences of when people move into the community that have never lived in a neighborhood.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
follow me?
Definitely.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I get it.
I see when I see the kids, and I know exactly where they're from because when I grew up in Fifth Ward, we grew up. I lived in a home behind my grandmother, and we used to walk in the street all day because there was no sidewalks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When you move into my neighborhood, there's sidewalks and bike trails and all the shit everywhere, right?
Right.
But you see the kids that are new to the neighborhood, especially the teenagers, they just walk in the street because they don't know that the sidewalks are meant for you to walk on.
Walk on. Right. I'm in the older community, mostly Caucasian. It's a mix. We don't have any sidewalks, but you are right. My kids used to walking on the side because they used to sidewalks and all that stuff. And I see other young little black kids moving to the area. They in the middle of the street. They in the way when cars come in. They don't
Like
know the
kid-
park. They're not used to nice parks right around the corner. Like you could just go to the park. My kids like, yo, I'm going to Green Court, Dad. All right, cool. It's right around the corner. Oh, Dad, I'm going up to this other park right up the street. Like but once again, we personally got to take care of our own areas and also contribute to the ecosystem and pay within our own ecosystems. We're not going to do that, man. A lot of us we run to these high designers for everything. Yes, spend your money how you want to spend. I'm not saying don't spend your bread. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't, you know what I mean? But yo, we don't spend our own money within our own circles. And I know people are going to say this is wrong, but bro, I want good customer service at the same time, bro.
Why wouldn't you expect that though?
Because I expect it every place I go at. If the customer service is ass, I don't show up no more. I
Right.
I purposely spend. I make sure I
That
spend
gotta be
black.
said.
But if the customer service is ass, you ain't gotta never see me again, dog.
No.
That has to be said.
Pretty much every establishment that I go to, if it's a 3, 4, 5 star, whether it's a restaurant or just a spot, I make it a point to know who the general manager is. Because if I like it, I'm going to be back. If I come back, I'm bringing friends, I'm bringing family.
Word.
If we got bad customer service or your wait staff is terrible, listen, I just went and went to the Warwick here. Warwick is new, it's black owned. And I wanted to experience, I took my whole family over here for upscale dining experience. My kid, like I said, my kids think they rich.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we go there, we spend about $700. Not to say I spent fucking $700, but that's what it came to. But the experience,
right,
from the ambiance to the facility to the engagement. The general manager came out. I didn't know we were sitting at the best table. I just knew that we were sitting where, like, we got this big bay window view of the city. And he came over and he introduced himself as the general manager. And we talked for about 5 minutes. Afterwards, we developed a rapport.
Right.
And my wife was like, you know this guy? I'm like, no, I wish I would have, because we probably wouldn't have paid $700
right.
for this experience.
Right.
But what I needed my kids to see and understand is this is your level of expectation when you come to something of this nature.
Right.
But if you don't receive that and you didn't spend your hard-earned money on it, don't accept the fact that just because they look like us, that's just what they do. Like, nah, I'll tell you in a heartbeat. Listen.
Facts. Trey and I tell each other about restaurants all the time. All the time. Black, mix, whatever. I'll be like, yo, you tried it yet? Nah, I haven't tried it yet. You tried it yet? Yeah, I just tried this place. This was good. This and the third. Yo, staff was great. Or, yo, the staff ain't good over there, fam.
Ain't going.
We ain't going. We not gonna support. If one of us say that, it's a wrap. Or the food don't be on point, staff could be good, food not on point. I take that as just this time. Let's try one more time. Let's see what it is. And you know what I mean, stuff like that. But at the same time, we gotta demand the same excellence that we demand in everyone else.
Because you're demanding the same prices.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, the best service I've ever had in a restaurant was a hole-in-the-wall spot in Inglewood, California. That's famous.
What's the spot?
I forgot the name of it, but Ice Cube, Snoop, and all of them go here. They got some of the best food I've ever had. It's like a brunch spot, right? You go in there, everybody that worked there is nothing but smiling black faces. You see a lot of older gentlemen sitting there eating their catfish and eggs and French toast. Yo, they got nice jazz playing. Yo, it's almost like you going home to see your family. Everybody good move.
Wow.
What you got good on the menu? It's a conversation. Everybody's talking. How you doing? How you doing? Smiling. Yo, bro, I've never in my life been in a black-owned restaurant with such great energy. It just slipped my mind now as we're talking. Never.
Have you ever gone to a place that had terrible service? By the time you got your water or your bread and whatnot, and you just said, you know what?
I leave.
This ain't
all
for
the
me,
time.
and left.
Yeah,
I leave all the
did.
time. When I was a child, I remember my father was notorious for that. I don't care how hungry I was, how hungry he was. He would tell them people their face, "You ain't gonna get my money," and walk up out of there. You're on the highway from New York to come down here because my parents are from down here, and so that was our vacation a lot of times. You know, when you're on the highway as a child, you hungry, you starving. So I'll give IHOP an example. I loved IHOP as a kid. The pancakes are just special, right? Sit there, my father, man, I can see him feeling around. People ain't gonna get my money, and we leave. You know, you're on the highway, it might be 15, 20 miles for you on the restaurant. Pops ain't give a shit. Driving, speed, whatever, possibly you can. Turn to the side, pee in the can. You be like, this nigga crazy. But I grew up watching my father. If we didn't get proper service, my father would never take that. Never.
We gotta have some pride, yo.
Never.
Even within our own shit, we gotta have some pride. I believe in customer service. I just had a client recently, and we had a conversation, and because I'm building her website, and we going through everything, the logistics, and she stopped me. She said, "LaShawn," I said, "Yeah." She's like, "You explained everything perfect to me. Your customer service is great. Like, you know, she was like, why aren't you bigger than what you are?" I said, no, I'm at the right size that I personally want to be with my company. I said, I'm able to help smaller organizations like yourself, but then I'm also able to help the big corporations where I really make most of my money from. I said, so I'm at a great rate. I said, I have employees and stuff. I said, but I take on the customer service aspect of things because I want you to see forward facing who I am and what I am and who you doing business with. You know what I'm saying?
That's
we got to take that
because
same,
as you scale, you won't be able to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder. I purposely, for this particular part of my business, I purposely make sure I'm forward facing. I'm scaling at the right size. I got other stuff that you'll never see me. There's other people you see. You'll never see me. You may even see my wife. But even when we go to politics side of things, they're going to have to earn my vote this year.
Yeah,
Amen.
I agree.
It's going to be a full-fledged earning. Or
it should always be like that.
I may not even vote presidential because I care more about local government than anything.
TS and I talk about that all the time. Local government is what we need to be paying attention to.
Trey, no, I say that
right
all
here, right now.
Yeah, I talk to my father about that all the time. I was like, you sit here half of your day watching CNN and all these big name politicians that ain't gonna do nothing for none of us. That shit doesn't even get to our level.
Nope.
And you don't know who controlled District 4 or Precinct 3.
All of that.
Precinct, right. I'm in Johnston County. So in North Carolina, Johnston County is it's a mostly predominantly white area. And it's rural, super rural. I'm looking at who's gonna be the mayor in this area. I'm looking at who's gonna be the next sheriff. I'm looking at all of this because that's why I'm voting. I need to know what's going on. And then North Carolina as a whole, I'm looking at the governor. I asked my man is a part of the Democratic caucus. I purposely just did this just to mess with him online. I said, yo, bro, who's the candidates for the Democrat side this year?
Yeah, I saw you did that.
Yeah. Because I be trolling too. He finally responded. It took him days to respond.
He had to go look that up.
No, he knew I didn't want to hear. He said, it's only one choice. I said, I guess I ain't voting, bro.
For sure.
But see, this is my problem with politics. I'm not a big politics person, but this is my issue with it. When I was a child, my mother always told me, don't discuss religion and politics. It's always going to be an argument and a fight, right? And, you don't listen to your parents. And you get older, certain things come back up. That's what I hate about politics. You can't even ask a person, why do you vote Democrat?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what the answer is going to be?
Libertarian.
Regardless of what the answer
did it. My dad did it. And so
that's not an answer.
What it is.
And now there are a lot of black Republicans now. A lot of
There's a
black
lot
Republicans.
more black Republicans than you would imagine.
No, I'm saying even running for office in a lot of areas, there are progressive Republicans that are our age. Now, you're telling me I can't vote for him or care about what he has to say when he's speaking because next to his name is an R. But I see a black man that looks like me.
Right.
You know what I'm
just don't
saying?
want
I
you,
want
I
to know
just
what
don't
he's
want
saying.
you niggas to be coon-tastic. That's my only
So
thing,
look,
man.
right.
Even
can't be
Democrat,
This is my-
Republican.
You
But
can't be
there's,
Tim Scott.
there's Democratic coons too.
That's what I'm talking about, both of them.
Definitely.
Republican or
Okay,
Democrat.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I don't want
I'm
no
saying
coon-tastics.
I can't write him off just because he has an R next to his name.
Nah, never.
Nor can I support him just because it has a D.
Right.
You know what
So
I'm
like
saying?
our lieutenant governor right now, Robinson, right?
Yep.
He said some wild things. Don't get it twisted. He
Yes,
said
he
some
has.
wild things. But the first time I actually saw him was on YouTube at a Greensboro City Council meeting, arguing about gun rights for
Yep.
average citizens,
Right.
and that's what caught my attention. So you're going to tell me I can't vote for him because I don't necessarily agree with what he says, but my gun rights are big to me.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Even when you have Republicans in office, usually our taxes are lower.
Yes.
Everybody loves money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you're right, though.
we have to think about those things when it comes to our communities,
Self-preservation.
as opposed to, because racism is there, whether it's overt or covert. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mhm.
It's either in your face or behind your back. Which one would you accept?
Right.
I'd rather accept one that's in your face. I
Me
know
too.
exactly
Yeah.
what I'm dealing
Yep.
with.
Bro,
The
listen.
one behind your back,
Yep.
dude, they plotting on you in a way because you might be divulging information to them that they could take back, utilize because you're not expecting it.
Bro,
I
I'm-
appreciate
That's the difference
I
between the
appreciate-
Midwest and the South.
I appreciate when a white person shows me what their true colors are. And I've told some to their face before. I appreciate the fact you showed me what kind of a person you actually are. Now I know how to deal with you from this day forth. We will be
Exactly.
just fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you got some liberals. When I was in Iowa, man, you got some liberal. Iowa is one of those states, man. The white people up there are different than the white people down in Texas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
I
like
would've-
night
I
and
would've-
day.
I would imagine.
But they are so liberal. They have programs. They smile in your face. They want to be a help. And I'm like, you the worst kind at certain, not all of them, just
Yeah,
certain people.
yeah.
You're the worst kind because you have a good face card.
Mhm.
Your face card says this, and you present this.
Yes,
But all the
right.
while, you working behind the scenes to diminish any and everything. But down here, I know this fool is from Vida, Texas. I know this fool is redneck straight up, and he don't like black people. He gonna tell you to your face, I don't like black people. Cool, because I don't like you. Not saying I don't like white people, but I don't like you
Mhm.
and your
cool with that.
attitude. So we can agree to mutually go our separate ways.
Yeah.
But
I
when
like
you
that.
smiling in my face and we got a vibe, and I'm thinking you cool, and all the while you're using that to
Right.
subvert something that could be positive to a lot
Right.
of people, it's like
I was
the
on
one
this
that I
post.
really want to hit in the head with a hatchet.
Right. I was on this post on Instagram. It was this guy was like, it's a lot of black people not voting for president, this, that, and the third. They are not voting at all, this, that, and the third. I told him, I said, yo, I put in the comment, I said, it's not that we're not voting. I said, we're voting. We're just focusing more on the vote that matters to us. Y'all want us to only vote for Biden and Democrats. That's not the case no more. We're not doing that no more. We're not just following.
Man.
We're just not following the traditional way of what blacks
Bruh.
are supposed to vote. Because we all know traditionally at one point we only voted Republican. You know what I'm saying? Blacks started out Republican. And then, transition to
They
Democrat because once
right.
again, everybody cater to whatever it needs. They know they need us. We got to start making them motherfuckers earn our vote, man.
Earn it.
Like Jay said, we get that joint up so quickly, yo. We just
So
give
easy,
it
bro.
up. We
Just check
like soon
the
as
box
someone
down on
say
this.
we got a bucket of chicken and some hot sauce in the purse, we were ready to vote for them.
On-
I'm like,
on-
get the
on-
fuck
on
out
a-
of here,
on
yo.
another level,
It's
that's
so much
that's
condescending shit that comes out.
We-
Even when Biden said, if y'all don't vote for me, you must not be black.
And I ain't
Like,
vote for
dude,
that
I
crap
watched
anyway.
your record
Yeah,
when you
but-
was in the Senate.
Right.
The
Biden
shit
is
that
the
you did.
same man. Biden is the same man that called us monkeys. He didn't
Yep.
want his children going to
Right.
school with them monkeys. He's the same man.
Yeah.
Bruh.
We lose.
I mean, even
Like a
the-
super predator on
go ahead,
down.
Jake. Go ahead,
Even
Jake.
the Chucks and Pearls movement.
Yep.
That
Oh
was
my
a slap in
God.
our face, bro.
Man,
and you
we
know,
been-
Trey, I
Chucks and
was
Pearl-
online
oh, yeah.
just acting a fool.
Yeah,
I
he
was
he
talking mad
Yeah,
junk.
look.
I didn't care.
Yep.
But
Harris,
see, how,
'cause
how long did the Chucks and Pearls last? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Was it even 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
I ain't seen her since.
Bro,
Me either,
you
bro.
remember?
My mother even asked me, where's she been?
I saw her line dancing at the Celebration Bowl about a month ago. That's the last time I seen her, bro.
But,
Then
but does that mean
everybody,
that
hold up, everybody was acting like they were so shocked when they saw her family.
why?
Because they don't do their research, bro.
No,
If you already knew the
Everybody
history
knew it.
of her,
listen, that's what I'm saying.
she
All the
run through.
AKAs,
If you would have seen the hit,
all the AKAs and the Deltas and all the sorority sisters was like, oh, happy as hell. They had the t-shirts. They were doing photo shoots with Pearls on and Chucks, all of that. And then when she showed her family, everybody was like, oh.
Yeah, we know she slept her way to
But-
the top.
yeah,
And then
bro,
she
that's that
married
plan.
But
It was
the
a
other
plan.
side.
That's
It was
that
a
plan.
plan. It was a plan.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what she.
bro.
That's how. I mean, if you ask people about what she did when she was
As an attorney, she was a DA.
DA, they will tell
And
you
all
she
them
was
black
not
dudes that she
for-
locked up just for numbers,
It's
for
not-
stats.
There's not one person in California that has a good thing to say about her. I will tell you
No.
that.
Bro,
I mean, literally, brother, she actually held people in prison who should have been let out due to
exactly.
marijuana laws
Exactly.
being lifted.
That they
Come
making
on, man.
trillions on.
She
Yeah,
That should have
she
told
doing
you
the
something
same.
right
She did
there.
the same thing with the Alabama DA is doing right now in Alabama, where he doesn't want to. Yeah, currently right now he doesn't want to release none of the people that's on that should be released right now. Their time is up. He's like they are good people to clean the cars and keep working in
Right.
like he literally
bro,
said
that is
this.
the most
Like he
bruh.
literally said that.
Wow.
He was
See,
like, we're releasing all the super bad guys, but why are we? He said we're not releasing the super bad guys, but we want to release the good guys, the ones that we use to work in these fields and keep cleaning these cars and doing the manual labor work for the jails. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
that's
Crazy,
fucking
man.
incredible.
Yeah,
For-
it's different. It's a different time, and I think right now, I'm definitely Jay. I'm with you 1,000% on us forcing. We need to self-preservation, focus on us, stop running to the Democratic or just whatever side that thinks that we supposed to. We need definitely more. What
you
gonna
think
say,
we
Jay?
need another party?
Yes.
Because right now, these two parties are both feckless.
No, you know what? No, we
They-
don't
they-
need another
they-
party. I think we need go back
for
to what
somebody
you just
like
said.
me,
Mhm.
somebody like me, it's some Republicans that I like their agenda and what they're doing in local government.
Mhm.
It's some Democrats. I'm like, I like some of the things that you're working on.
Yeah.
But if you just make the ticket, you vote straight Republican or straight Democrat, or you have to go through and pick. I'm like, man, you just need a whole different party that's more progressive and understand. You got people that are 70 and 80 years old running government.
But no one is gonna vote other party because we have the independent. I'm an independent, so I decided not to be any side. I'm not any side.
too.
I play my shit down the middle. No one is gonna vote on any independent president ballot because we're
The money that's involved.
We could. It's not even that the money because we had Ross. Not to bring up Ross Perot, but Ross Perot been the independent front runner for years back in the day when we was younger, and he was richer than most everyone.
He was a billionaire.
He was a billionaire. He's been a billionaire. Rest his soul. I mean, Bernie Sanders. He ran the independent movement for a minute, and he's richer than most of everyone. But the thing is this:
people said Bernie Sanders was too old, but is he older than Biden?
No,
man. It don't even.
Hey, they both went to high school with Jesus, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was Bernie older than Biden?
Trump
I
old.
wasn't trying to cut you off.
We need a age cap at how old, because Biden is 88. Biden is 88.
But look, is there even
a
no,
he can't be 88.
No, Biden
dog.
80 something. Yeah.
No, he's in his 80s.
Biden, he's like 81. He's like 81.
Yeah, 81. Trump is 78. Trump is 78. Biden is like 81, 82. I just said 88 because that nigga old as hell.
You gonna lock this dude up. But you got people that are, man, they about to cash out.
Oh yeah,
and they making decisions.
It got to be a cap.
Okay,
man.
like that governor for California, right?
Right.
Newsom.
Oh my God,
he's a bum.
He's fucking California.
Well, I guarantee you, this is gonna be your next presidential candidate.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna be.
He's in his late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, the push that's gonna come behind, because he's the most polished looking governor that's out.
Right.
And they're going to pair him with someone that may be a black woman, that may be progressive in some nature, but ultra conservative. And it's like, dude, this is next.
But you know what the biggest thing that needs to change? senators and
That stay there for
congressmen
25,
and women,
30 years.
they too long on the too long in their spot. It should
Yeah,
be
I
they
definitely
should be
agree.
term based. They have lifetime seats. Like some of them,
Yeah,
like dude, damn
yeah.
near died sitting
And
up
he
sitting up
put
there
his
talking.
daughter, he
How
put his
old-
wife
dog.
in.
How old was
Oh,
Jesse
Mitch
Helms when he
McConnell.
died? Remember
Yes.
Jesse Helms? Years ago, Jesse
Was it
Helms was
Helms or
like 90.
Thurman?
Yeah.
Jesse
And
Helms
then
had
it-
to have been like 90 years old when he died.
Dog,
And
Mitch
Jesse
McConnell,
Helms, Strong
Mitch
Thurman.
McConnell had four
Yeah.
seats,
Yeah,
had four
yeah.
heart attacks, bro, sitting at the well, no, not heart attacks. He had a stroke.
Strokes.
That man had four
Yeah.
strokes standing up there talking to us, bro. He too old, bro. They too old. Like
Man.
they definitely need their like they need to be up for renewal every couple years. Every,
But
like
they
4 or
are,
5
and they
years.
get reelected because of the
Re-election.
money.
Yep.
You ever seen that movie Distinguished Gentleman
Yeah.
with
Yes.
Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy?
yeah.
Yep.
Every time I see that movie and it pops up every blue moon, I'm like, this is it for real. They made a movie based on this
Yep.
for real, and everything that you see. We have a Sheila Jackson Lee down here. She was running for mayor, and she said she was going to resign from her seat in the House, and she was segueing her daughter as her replacement.
See?
I'm like, wait a minute.
See?
You can have this and then tell them
And
who you
keep it
want.
within the family. They keep that seat within the
I'm like,
family.
and then I'm looking at different areas when you go to vote. Nobody even ran for this district. And I'm saying to myself, how much do they pay? Man, I need to go run for one of these fucking Senate seats because you got a chick, that Bobert chick didn't even graduate high school.
See?
That's crazy.
Didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene.
See?
You wait a minute. Come on, man. Y'all are this stupid and y'all are getting elected.
Because no one is
How
looking
do
at
I
local government.
get the
Chris.
right people behind me to say, hey, you know, Mr. White, he's a
No one is
mental
looking at
health
local
professional
government.
and he does this. And
Well, that's why a lot
No.
of these small communities never grow. Because down there where my parents are at, that's kind of where they grew up at. There'll be people on the ticket with no qualifications, no education, no life experience, nothing. That just now all of a sudden they're head of the school board. And you wonder
They
why
know somebody.
Thank you,
education
Bobby.
is so
Wow.
fucked
Head
up.
of the school
And
board.
sometimes
board.
nobody else is running against you. So you looking at your
Yep.
ticket and there's one person. And you be like, oh, I ain't voting for this motherfucker. Nigga, it don't matter. There's only one
If they get
person.
one vote,
You know what
one
I'm saying?
vote, he wins.
A lot of these smaller communities, that's why they don't grow.
Yep.
And when they decide to grow, they're gonna push the black people out because the black people don't even realize they're being pushed out. Because they'll get
Bruh.
offered small things, like you were saying
Yep.
before, and they'll fall for it. Like Durham right now, Durham is in a gentrification phase, and a lot of these niggas have no idea
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes.
Because they got these generational houses and they choose not to pay taxes. Then they get this letter in the mail, oh, we'll buy your home for X amount of dollars. They'll offer you
$18,000.
they'll offer you $60,000 without you realizing your house is valued $300 right now.
Yep.
Because my
Especially in Durham.
townhouse
And-
right,
and
my
they ain't
townhouse
they
right
ain't
now
told
is
you.
valued. My townhouse is valued 3 times what I purchased
Yeah.
it for.
Yep. Yep.
Bruh.
That's why I refuse to sell even when I leave.
That's
But
like my mother
if
home.
you
My
don't-
mother home
if
in
you don't
Durham
ask-
is
I'm sure,
3
yeah.
times more than what is purchased for.
But if you don't have the information, you don't know. You believe in these white people. Well, crime is high and this and that or whatever, and you'll run and leave.
You're in the floodplain.
Oh,
They literally
kind of
have a
things.
neighborhood that's called Acres Homes. The reason it's called Acres Homes is every home is built on an acre lot.
wow.
Do you know how many new townhomes that
Yeah.
they build on 1 acre?
Oh yeah.
They
They
put
can
like
put about 8.
14, 7
Oh yeah.
on this line, 7
Yep,
on
7 on the
and
other
I'm
line.
like,
You're right. You're right. They'll
this-
pack in an acre. They'll pack
Yeah.
an acre in, boy.
I'm trying
Oh,
to do
yeah.
that.
and
one
I'm
day,
saying to
too.
myself,
Most definitely.
that's
Me
been
too.
in your family for 35, 40 years.
I'm buying land
But
in
you
South
owe
Carolina
so
now
much
to do
in
that.
back taxes. I can't front because I got 4.5.
Yeah.
I can't front, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're gonna sell it to me, I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna buy it. And it's pennies on
Because-
the dollar, man. The way you look at it, the way they selling it, they selling these lands pennies on the dollar, man. And we missing out. That's another thing I hate that we miss out on. Yes, we in the economic boom when it comes to all the black people want to be real estate agents, but we not the one purchasing property.
The real estate
Investors, right? We're not the one investing and purchase. Bro, you look at land. That's the one thing we can't get more of. You can purchase
Can't.
land. Land is very inexpensive. Now it's the cleaning the land off. That's going to
Yeah.
start getting costly, different things like that. If you got X amount of trees, we don't know. You can sell those trees to a
Oh,
place.
bruh,
You
you
can
might
sell
have
and get your money off.
$3 million worth of trees on your land.
Oh, I know.
I didn't know people stole trees.
Yes.
Trey,
They
people
do.
will
Yeah.
come steal
Yeah.
your trees, bruh.
If you got
and
a
go
bunch of
sell
land sitting up, they will literally just loggers will come in before you know your tree's gone. And
Tree's
you
gone.
like, what the hell? Because they done took it. They think they know it's unoccupied.
It's abandoned. Nobody
Yup.
said anything. It was no gate up. Listen, this funny thing. I bought my first building this past year, and that's where I'm at right now. In my building is sitting on 1.5 acres of land, right? And I have a paved parking lot, and it's shaped like a U. How many? Yeah, and I'm next to a neighborhood, so people think because I don't have signs up that they can come and park in the driveway
Right.
because it's paved. And I got signs up, private area, do not park here. So the other day, a tow truck came and just parked this truck here. I happened to be here at 10:30 at night. I walked outside. I said, I called the number on the truck, and the guy said, no, I'm not in your area. And I said, yeah, it's a truck parked on my property. And the guy that came out, he was acting Brody. He said, man, anybody could park here. I said, no, anybody can't except for me. I'm the owner. He said, you don't own this property. I said, yeah, why would I be calling your boss to tell him to get his truck off my property if I didn't own it? Why would I do that at night?
Right.
And he said, man, he started catching the attitude. He said, you might as well say you own that over there too. I said, I do own that over there. He said, you own the church? I said, no, I own all the property next to the church. That 4.5 acres, that's me, plus this over here. And he said,
now move your
man,
shit.
ain't no nigga got no money to do that. I'm like, really, bro? That's why I always keep this 9 on me, just in case
Always.
it's the
For
fool.
sure.
It's always.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but think about that, bro. Think how short-minded we are in that retrospect. That you're gonna say there ain't no nigga can own that much land in this area.
and
Like,
it
think
ain't
about
a
how
lot.
short-minded we are.
Yeah.
And it don't even be that expensive, bro. My wife and I going through that right now where we're looking at buying some piece of property and we're getting inspected and all that other stuff. This land's been sitting. It's in our hometown where we from. But we had people that we know tell us, oh, they ain't gonna sell that to y'all.
Bro.
Shit, them motherfuckers ready to throw that shit to us and add some more.
Because they can't keep up with it. You can't keep if you need to have, look, what I own, guess, dog, it costs me $900 a month to get the grass cut.
See,
why would I want anybody just parking on something that I'm spending an exorbitant amount of money on to maintain, just so you could come and take advantage of it? So when you got people that got acres and they can't keep it maintained, they can't keep up with the taxes might be $200 a year.
Yep.
But you'd have missed it for the last 25 years. And there's a chunk that you got to pay to keep it out of being at the auction.
Auction, right.
Let me,
guys.
let me,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, bro.
No. We was gonna wrap it up, man.
Let me pay your back taxes. Let me throw you some money per acre. I'll give you $700 an acre.
I just was learning about that too.
That's the hustle. That's how they get people.
I was just learning that same thing. So, hey man, we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you guys all for jumping on and being a part of the episode today. My guy Eric, I know he left a little early. Anything you guys want to promote, talk about? Jay, you got anything? Jay Cook, you got anything you want to promote, talk about real quick? What you got going on?
I do have a business consultant firm, and we're selling apparel right now through my site, theinfluentiallifestyle.com. I got a shirt on right now. It's all about being influencing each other to be better people. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. Think about dabbing back into a little bit of music. I ain't told Trey about that, but I think I'm gonna do that as well. But I do thank you all for allowing me to be on the platform. This was dope.
Yo, Trey, make sure we get that website and stuff, bro. If you can send that over.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
We'll put that up on in the put that by his picture and put it in the description.
Sure,
Chris, my brother, what you got? What you working on?
We really focusing on the Launchpad. If you like to check it out, it's the launchpad.life, where we focus on mental health, behavioral health, and addiction support. If you are a man or you're in need of mental health help, or you just having life issues that you would like to deal with from a Black male perspective, I'm definitely here to help you. I have 4 clinicians on staff, have 2 doctors. So if you're in need, the launchpad.life, you can come and check us out and set up an appointment. We do free consultations.
Yeah, I'm
Great.
gonna be bringing the family down there before the year's out too.
No doubt.
Probably, yeah, we're gonna be coming down there. I already told them, so we're
Right.
gonna do that.
Anything you want to
That's
promote?
what's up.
Anything you promote?
Yeah, myself, my nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big Tre-Dot.
You know what I mean? Yo, yeah, at boy Tre-Dot, man, all the social medias, man. You know, just follow me, see what I got going on. Got 2 EPs probably come out in April, and I'm gonna do a release party probably in Charlotte, North Carolina, with a live band. I'm gonna have some fun, man, with some grown people, listening to some music, man, being influential, as my brother Shay says, man, and trying to enjoy this music as a way to relax, as a way to be therapeutic within the rhythm, man. Really having fun with it. The acceptance of it has been great. I mean, humbled, I will say. I did not expect it to be received as well as it has been. And my brother TS has been a big part of that, and K Dub been a big part of keeping my mind from going crazy. But yo, it's been dope, man. It's been dope, and I appreciate everyone that's been supportive.
That's what's up. What's up? For me, man, by the time this podcast release, the Got What You Need TV side of things will be relaunched. We had some issues when we partnered with the company out in Palestine, and they had the war and things happened where we couldn't relaunch. But I buckled down and finished coding and getting everything together. So by the time this episode drops, you will also go on Roku and check out our TV channel, and then we'll be rolling a couple things out. Also, man, I'm on a radio, back doing radio again. I'm on satellite radio, but I'm also on independent internet radio on We Got the Jams radio. Check out my show. It's called The Vibes with TALLSHON every Friday and Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow me on social media at TS is who I am, you'll find everything there. My show has been kind of going crazy. I've been having a lot of live listeners. I'm at about 1,500 live listeners on my show for that hour. It ranged between 15 and about 900 during that time frame, which is damn
It's
good
dope.
for an
It's dope.
independent internet radio show. I guess
Yeah,
people
holla at the
really like
Dot
the
Box
music.
too. I'm on his network also. I
Oh
got a
yeah,
playlist
yeah.
show.
We got the Dot Box every
90s hip
Thursday.
hop, early 2000 hip hop. Dope
Yep.
playlist of music you can just ride to, bringing them
Yep.
classics out.
We have fun with that, man. We have a lot of fun,
Yeah.
man. But I like to thank you all, guys. Once again, I thank you all for just being a part of the episode, and I really thank you, Trey. End us off of this the first of the year. This the first part of the year. I need you to end us off with some good words, man. So let's hear
I'm
it. People they look forward to it.
I'm gonna recycle what I said in my last interview, man. I want to also put it on this platform. The people that you know personally will intentionally ignore you and what you're doing in hopes that you stop what you're doing and progressing and doing the things that they're either scared or not capable to do. So don't lose focus on what you're trying to do in life. Stay on your goals, stay on your dean, keep in motion.
There we go. I love it, yo.
Peace,
All
peace.
right, guys. It's the Black Male Podcast. TS is who I am.
Tre-Dot is who I am.
And we're out, yo. Catch y'all next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Already.
Hey, peace.